It's time for Twig This Week in Google, the last live show of 2021. We've got a best of next week. Stacy's in the house. Jeff Jarvis. Ann has the week off. We'll talk about Jack Dorsey's anti-Web3 Twitter post. Will Bitcoin replace the U.S. dollar? An IPO for Reddit? Everything Google killed in 2021. And we finally get the answer of what's happening to the update for the Pixel 6. All of that and a whole lot more coming up next on This Week in Google.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This is Twig. This Week in Google. Episode 643, recorded Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021. The Verdant Lady. This Week in Google is brought to you by Imperfect Foods. Imperfect Foods is catching the food that's falling through the cracks of our food system by sourcing quirky yet delicious foods. Right now, Imperfect Foods is offering listeners 20% off your first 4 orders when you go to imperfectfoods.com and use the promo code TWIG. And by userway.org. Userway ensures your website is accessible, ADA compliant, and helps your business avoid accessibility-related lawsuits. The perfect way to showcase your brand's commitment to millions of people with disabilities. It's not only the right thing to do, it's also the law. Go to userway.org/twit for 30% off Userway's AI-powered accessibility solution. And by AT&T Active Armor. You've spent the day staring at your phone, waiting for that one call from the job, the hospital, or the family, and it finally rings. But guess who it is? A robot! Don't let fraud calls disappoint you. AT&T makes your security a top priority, helping block fraud calls with AT&T Active Armor. It's not complicated. AT&T Active Armor, 24/7 proactive network security, fraud call blocking, and spam notifications to help stop threats at no extra charge. Compatible device and service required. Visit att.com/activearmor for details. It's time for Twig This Week in Google, the show where we cover the latest from Google, the Googleverse, the Metaverse, all of the verses. It is our last live episode of 2021. Hello, Stacy Higginbotham. Stacy on IoT.com. Good to see you.
Hello.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays to
Only
you, too.
3 shopping days left.
Oh,
I know
feel bad
you.
for everyone out shopping.
I know you. You've all done. Not only have done your shopping, they're wrapped, they're under the tree, they're ready to go. Have you baked the gingerbread cookies yet?
They're the last item. They are happening this afternoon. The butter is soft. The cookies are, they're going to be amazing.
The butter is soft, the cookies are hard, and all the world's a stage. It sounds so good. It sounds so cozy in the Higginbotham home. Jeff Jarvis is also here, Mr. Cachoy Pepe.
I'm sorry, I'm not ready. It's like on time. What's going on here?
Yes, we're doing the show. We're starting. No BSing. No, we're going to get in. We're going to get out. Stacy's got cookies to cook. This is my last show before the holiday break.
Oh, that's it. You're just eager to get rid of us all.
Eager.
Nobody blink. You'll miss it.
So eager. We will have a show next week, December 29th. It'll be our best of Twig. Some great moments. That's one of the shows that's really the best of. Is going to be great because there's so many silly things and fun things that happen throughout the year. So make sure you download that, and then we'll be back 2 weeks from today, which is January 5th, with an all-new episode. And, of course, is on vacation. He tells us he's binge-watching Succession even as we speak. So good for you. We actually had a discussion before the show.
What is it a binge?
What is a binge? He's watched 2, it sounds like. Is that a binge?
So he says he doesn't binge watch. He doesn't binge watch Ant. That's one of his rules.
Oh,
Ant has
doesn't.
rules.
But he's
one
watched
is that
2.
Ant does not binge watch.
So according to him,
that's under the binge threshold. Thus,
under the binge threshold. I think we have a show title before we've even begun. So it looks like CES it's still on. It's 2 weeks from now. January 5th. It's still on, but boy,
Gonna be lonely.
It's gonna be
Looking shaky.
It's gonna be quiet.
So I just canceled my stuff. Not that I'm a huge draw, but
you're not going.
I joined the. I'm not going. I just.
Well, you know what? I'm relieved. I was worried about you, Stacey. I'm honestly, earnestly relieved. I'm glad you're not going.
I was less worried about me. I just feel like, you know, what if I caught it and brought it to somebody who didn't need to get it? It felt irresponsible.
It seems like bad timing. Had they been a month later, maybe it wouldn't be Omicron would have burned through. I have a feeling it's going to be like that, where there's this big surge, then everybody gets it, and then it goes on and burns itself out. Anyway, Amazon isn't going. Meta is not going. These are the announcements. Pinterest is not going. Twitter is not going. The announcements by the companies are shortly followed by announcements from CNET and The Verge and Gizmodo. They're not going to go then. In that case, I'm not going. Ant's not going because we told him he couldn't. And,
good for you. Protecting Ant.
Well, yeah, and his family and us. And I
knew he wanted to, but
he does want to, and I don't blame him. But this is not going to be
wanted to. It's just, it's not going to be any fun either. I mean, and by fun, I mean, like, it's not going to be professionally all that useful. It doesn't sound like.
CES.
How about the hardware guys? Have they canceled or?
HP has not as of yet. You mean the big TV companies because they're important.
Yeah, those kinds.
Samsung, LG.
I think they're all going. I would bet.
All their stuff is already there.
That's right. Stay to ship it.
A lot of them were sending smaller teams, or only their US based teams. Was what I got from a lot of people in China and Europe.
Here from The Verge is a picture of the sad balloon that is CES.
Looks like it's in a bad motel.
It's raining in a parking lot. CES itself says we're still going. In fact, more people signed up after those stupid 40 companies quit. We got 60 new exhibitors. So there. CES will be in person January 5th through 8th. This is the statement from Gene Foster, head of marketing and communications from the Consumer Technology Association, the sponsors. Yeah.
Was it hard to cancel your stuff, Stacey?
No. I mean, I wasn't. I just called and I had to call my hotel, and that's where Google's hold for me really came in handy.
Oh, yeah. You just said what, yeah, because I bet they were quite busy. CES,
yeah, they were super, because you couldn't cancel online. You had to call.
Yeah.
Boo.
CES will be in person, says Gene, January 5th through 8th in Las Vegas with strong safety measures in place. And digital access is also available for people that don't wish to or can't travel to Las Vegas. Our mission remains to convene the industry and give those who cannot attend in person the ability to experience the magic of CES digitally. While we received...
you're gonna get a hammer to smash the bottom of your feet so it feels like you're going to CES.
Yeah. There you go. Virtual CES kit. While we recently received 42 exhibitor cancellations, less than 7% of our exhibit floor. Since last Thursday, we've added 60 new exhibitors for our in-person event. Registrations for both digital access and the Las Vegas event, interesting, they mixed those together, are showing strong momentum, with thousands more registrations in the last few days. So they're saying we're gonna do it safely. Vaccination requirement, masking, COVID-19 tests, combined with lower attendance.
They handed you 2 tests. I got an email like middle of last week, right after we did the show, saying, "Hey, we're gonna send out 2 tests when you get there." So.
Yeah. It does kind of remind me a little bit of Mobile World Congress 2020. Remember where they kept saying doggedly, no, we're going. And they finally said, no, we're not. But it is, gosh, it has to be a big loss. I don't know what kind of insurance they were able to get after last time.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But it's a big deal. They buy up hotel rooms ahead of time so they can charge exorbitant rates to the attendees.
What was the one when South by Southwest didn't have insurance? I remember we were talking about that time. Somebody did have insurance.
South by Southwest 2020.
No, they did not have insurance.
Right.
We talked about it at the time. There was
Southwest
some other conference. Right. There was some conference that did have it.
Right.
I can't remember who it was. It was smart.
Yeah, that really almost put South by out of business. I think they had to get a white knight to come in and save them. So
They had a buyer come in and buy them.
Yeah. Yeah. Sad.
So.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the rich get richer, right? You know, what are you going to say?
I was like, where'd that come from?
Yeah, where'd that come from, actually?
It came from because
your anti-capitalist rant there.
Monday we did our holiday special, and I can't remember what the number was, but the richest people in America got much richer during COVID.
Oh yeah,
600% or something. It was some huge growth. Mm-hmm. So while CES and South by practically face bankruptcy, people are out of work, businesses go out down. Main Street USA is gutted. Amazon, is doing pretty good. Jeff Bezos doing just fine.
Leo, let us have a moment of silence for Elon Musk's tax bill.
$11 billion,
all over
and he's so mad about it.
Oh, he's so unhappy.
Dude, you're the richest man in the world, the richest man ever, worth more than $270 billion, and you're bitching because you have to pay taxes.
Damn taxes.
Pay your damn taxes.
You know what? I pay more taxes than he does based on per capita. And you don't see me complaining. I just pay them.
Let's talk weird tweets, shall we?
Oh yeah, Are we going with Dorsey?
We're going with Dorsey.
He's having so much fun. He's having such a good time now.
So now that he's not the head of Twitter, he's tweeting. And a good tweet, I thought, that he put out yesterday. You don't own Web3. Web3 is all the rage these days. Everybody's talking about this decentralized, blockchain-based World Wide Web. You don't own that, he says. The VCs and their LPs, limited partners, do. It will never escape their incentives. It's ultimately a centralized entity with a different label. Know what you're getting into. Of course, the promise among all the Web3 advocates is that it isn't centralized. It is completely decentralized. And, his point, in fact, I think he had a kind of, in all of his replies, he kind of implied this. His point is it's really a buzzword created by Andreessen Horowitz. And that's the VCs he's talking about, and their limited partners are all their investments that he's talking about. He says they really own it.
Oops, so, yeah, I did have in the thread, and I screwed it up.
Yeah, it was such a long thread. I'm not going to find it because a lot of people responded to him. A lot of people called him crazy, mostly the Web3 advocates.
Oh, the bros, absolutely.
Yeah. VCs congratulating themselves. At VC Brags tweeted, "How dare you question the integrity of VCs?" and you've taken a lot of VC money, so I don't know what you mean, says Adam R. To which Jack says, "This is why I know exactly what I mean." Now he's out of it. He can say this. So I'm not going to weigh in on this. It's just right now it's just a catchphrase anyway.
Well, the beauty is when Jack's tweeted that he was banned from Web3.
Yeah, so Mark Andreessen, who, of course, is one of the principals at Andreessen Horowitz, he was the guy who made all the money on Netscape, became a venture capitalist. He immediately blocked Jack Dorsey. How dare you question
and Jack
This man
Bragg.
Is so block happy.
Who,
Yeah,
Mark Andreessen? Yeah.
Mark Andreessen.
I got blocked like 2 years ago. I have no idea what I did wrong. I've never criticized him, never had cause to that I know of, never criticized the company. I don't know what I did. I've been blocked for a long time before Jack.
Okay, in his defense, and there's no reason to defend him, but in his defense, that's the best way to use Twitter is to immediately block people you don't want to hear from, right?
Yes, but I would say the reasons he blocks people are not, he's got either the thinnest skin in the world or he's just like...
Well, he just doesn't need it. He doesn't want the noise. Honestly, that's kind of my motto with Twitter is follow freely and block just as freely, even more freely. Right?
I block happily if someone's insulting me, but I don't block people.
Maybe not block. Maybe just unfollow.
Disagreeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some people...
this person has a different take. I should probably... I'll at least read it and see.
Yeah. Some people want to hear the other side. Most people don't. Most people just... They want to,
I kind of feel like it's my job.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, you're different. Yeah, if Mark Andreessen doesn't want to hear criticisms of Web3, fine. I don't.
Yeah, that's certainly his right, but you lose out on some interest in fun and challenges that are worthwhile sometimes.
Right.
Especially
Mark,
as an investor.
come back. I miss you.
Do we miss Jack at Twitter? I don't think we do.
I don't think does Jack miss Twitter
or no?
Yeah. Jack has not lost his enthusiasm for Bitcoin. However, he does say Bitcoin is going to replace the U.S. dollar someday. This is in another tweet exchange with Cardi B, who is, of course, as everyone knows, a world-famous economist and rap star. Cardi asked on Twitter if crypto will replace the U.S. currency, to which Dorsey replied, yes, Bitcoin will. There you go. I love how worlds come together.
Yeah.
That's Twitter right there for you.
Right there. Twitter in a nutshell. Cardi B and Jack Dorsey back and forth.
Talking about crypto. There's nothing more Twitter than that.
Dogecoin co-founder Billy Marcus, in response, posted a meme about how Dogecoin is more stable than the U.S. dollar. Is it? I don't know. I don't want Dogecoin to be the
I don't think
currency.
Dogecoin's fiat. Yeah,
I don't think so. Boy, that's all of our stories. Thank you so much for joining us. This is gonna be a slow. This is gonna be a very. This nothing.
This is what happens at the end of the year, huh?
Nothing is going on. Did we? I think we already. Maybe this was on a twit. That's right, because Jeff was here. Talked about.
So I'm kind of confusing you because you think, oh yeah, I already heard Jarvis.
We already talked
about opinion about that.
Jarvis. We were talking about Reddit. So it looks like going to go do an IPO. And we talked a little bit about Reddit on Sunday on the twit. I think Reddit's my favorite social network, and the reason I like it is because you very much in control of what you see. You follow subject matter, not people. You could follow people, but I don't. I think most people just use it by following subreddits. And what I like about it as my enthusiasms shift, which they do rapidly, I can just shift my Reddit to follow the things I'm interested in. It seems like a good way.
So I've been trying, Leo, because you said that on Sunday that you like Reddit, and I wasn't using Reddit much, so I've been trying to more. I still like Twitter better.
Well, Twitter is short, but Reddit's fun for. I feel like Twitter is maybe a good coffee shop, and Reddit is like the local bowling alley.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh my! Wait. Let's deconstruct that.
I hate bowling. So I'm in the wrong spot.
Reddit, you wear strange shoes, and your thumb gets sore.
Reddit, you're hanging out like a coffee shop. You've got this veneer of intellectual whatever, but really it's just a coffee shop, and people are chatting about their whatever they think. They're just kind of focused on. They have some pretensions around it, right? In the bowling alley, you can be ironic, but you're still going to be pretty unpretentious.
Well, and I did mention this. I did mention this that the best part of Reddit for me is following the hottest posts and not necessarily reading the comments on those posts. Sometimes I do, but the posts themselves are what I follow, and that's less of a bowling alley because it's not so much a conversation as people saying, "Hey, here's something I realized,"
which is why you like Twitter top articles.
It's similar to top articles, except it's long form instead of being 280 characters. It could be, and there's often images, and it's just more. I follow basically a few enthusiasms like the shows I like, the hardware I like, and then news and politics, and the COVID chat was really good. The COVID-19. I guess I stopped following it. Probably should be time to follow it again. I like it. Anyway, I think they'll do well. So that's who benefits from that? Condé, right? Condé Nast owns.
Well, so
Condé, yeah.
Condé. I said this on Twitter, but I'll say it again. I was there, or I guess it was. Yeah, I was there when Steve Newhouse, my boss, loved Dig, wanted to get in on Dig. Was trying to figure out Dig. He tried to get me to get him in on Facebook. I failed him. I failed him on Dig. But he, after I left, he out of nowhere bought Reddit because it was kind of the second choice to dig. It was the poor man's dig. Well, guess who won? And he very wisely spun it off such that they had equity, so that the owners still felt like owners and employees could feel a stake, and so that they had something to trade with. So it wasn't stock market equity, but it was spun off in essence from Condé, but Condé owns the lion's share of it. So they'll do very, very well. He bought it for a song. What did he buy? I forget what he bought it for.
A couple $100 million. That much even?
Let me see here. Oh, come on. Tell me this. Quora. That's why, because Quora is a pain in the butt. I gotta go.
Quora results come up
10 million to 20 million.
Oh, nothing. A song. You're right.
Nothing.
Wow. Dig was even valued at 60 million. Wow. Nothing.
What was Kevin Rose when he was on
the cover of Business Week? It was the $60 million man. And that's Kevin, right. We used to mock Kevin. He was still at Tech TV when that came out, and we used to mock him. He said, "Yeah, no, I didn't get any of that 60 million." He's doing on the other hand, he's doing
fine,
okay. Kevin. Yeah. He was an early investor in Twitter, among other things.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice work if you can get it.
I have never gotten anything. My only early investments have been in things that have failed.
Pretty much the same here.
Yay.
I have no early
I was going through my old business cards. I had my Partner at Daylife business cards. I had whole boxes of them.
Partner at Daylife. What was? I don't even know what that was.
Daylife was a Google News as an API. Okay. I know the brand sounded like a day spa where you get hot stone massages, but it wasn't.
Ooh, I would like a hot stone massage.
We didn't have them.
I'm like, yes, please.
A survey says Americans widely distrust Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. I know. Believe me, I would not be doing this. I would not be doing this story if it weren't for such a slow week.
You left it off the rundown it's in the rundown.
I hate to say it.
Okay.
Heather Kelly writing for the Washington Post, but they're quoting a survey from the Washington Post's Schar School poll. Many Americans use social media, and most use Facebook, but 64% say the government should do more to rein in big tech companies. Problem is, it's one of those things where it's really easy to get people to say stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that idea. Good idea.
The one question was, do you depend upon your phone? Yeah, and I depend upon the toilet too. What's the problem?
What does that mean? It doesn't. There's not a lot of context. Internet users. Here's the question: how much do you trust each of the following? How much do you trust each of the following companies or services to responsibly handle your personal information and data on your internet activity?
On guard. You did the setup for that is so obvious.
How much do you trust these companies with your privacy, in other words? And then the dark is trust not much at all. The light blue is trust a great deal, a good amount, and the gray is no opinion. Facebook came out worst.
Those Amazon people are not wrong.
They trust. Amazon's number one. They trust.
Yeah.
More than half.
And I think you do trust them. You trust them with your data. You don't trust them to necessarily do right by the merchants trying to sell you stuff. But Amazon's, your data goes in, it never comes back out.
I guess that's true. Apple is actually behind Amazon by a goodly amount. Yeah. Then Microsoft.
But how much data do you really give Apple versus Amazon? Right?
Well, potentially everything, because you carry their phone around. So potentially, if they wanted it, they could get a lot of information. Historically, they don't try to get everything, and of course they make do a lot of marketing and spend a lot of marketing.
Well, they're selling
dollars.
their bug as a feature, yeah.
Yeah, it's saying, hey, we're safe. 43% trust Microsoft, just slightly under Apple. Google is actually doing fairly well. 48% trust them a great deal. 35% trust YouTube. 15% for WhatsApp. 19% for Instagram. 12% for TikTok. TikTok's the least trusted. I'm sorry.
Interestingly, WhatsApp was a huge, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of I don't know on WhatsApp. That's the biggest.
A third said, I don't know.
And the same with TikTok. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Should I trust them? I don't know. I don't know who they are. And it's because of the large and shifting I don't know percentage, you can't really, it's kind of weird because, for instance, YouTube is trusted by 35% of people, but mistrusted by 53%, which is a fairly hefty proportion. So it's a little confusing.
I mean, I often quote in these moments the brilliant James Carey, the late professor from Columbia University, who said that opinion polls preempt the public conversation they're meant to measure. What we have here is a case of self-fulfilling prophecy from media. Right. 3 billion people still use Facebook, but the media are beating everybody over the head. Yeah, it's awful, it's evil, it's terrible. Do you think they're awful and evil and terrible? Right. Yes. Oh, see,
it's almost a measure of, have you been reading our stories more than anything else? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Most say there isn't something going on here. I'm not denying that, but it's just the media never acknowledge their own self-reflective impact and, by the way, conflict of interest.
Most say targeted ads are annoying, invasive, and not helpful. This is very counterintuitive. 82% of people say targeted ads are annoying, invasive, and not helpful. I don't understand that, because
I think it's people who get upset by. Well, no, I also think people get creeped out / upset over like a pair of shoes following you. It is disconcerting, especially if like you looked at something that isn't related to something you actually want.
Right.
That's when you tend to notice it. So I can see why people think it's annoying.
Right. Yeah, I'm not buying horseshoes. All right. Anyway, yeah, it's, I don't even want to continue on because it's right. Okay. It's not.
Thank you.
It's not good.
I'm putting my blood pressure.
Yeah, it's just a poll. I don't think they're very useful for anything.
They're dumb.
Yeah.
But one you're willing to go with. I'll just note. Newspapers went after radio. They went after billboards. They went after television. They're going after the internet. Yeah. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. Let's take a little break. We can actually, this might be interesting, go back in time and look at the year in review. Jason's put in a bunch of stories from the past year.
Wow, that just popped in there.
Yeah,
Thank you,
that's
Jason.
nice. Thank you, Jason. We'll do that. That's finally something to talk about instead of Washington Post polls. Have either of you ever done imperfect foods? I had a completely wrong impression of what these guys were. Imperfect foods. They're actually pretty perfect. That's my bottom line on this. We've been getting it now every week. I love it. Every day, delicious groceries fall through the cracks of our food system just because how they look. Imperfect Foods is turning this around by sourcing quirky yet delicious foods and delivering them to you in a way proven to reduce emissions. By the way, this is a sponsor in case you didn't notice. So let me talk about this, because when I heard that, and that's the kind of the top line pitch of Imperfect Foods, I thought, I'm gonna have a rutabaga that looks like Richard Nixon, or I'm gonna have a bruised apple or something. No, actually, this is fantastic food. I'll give you an example. We got pomegranates. They're smaller than the pomegranates the size of my head that I can buy at a Whole Foods. But in every other respect, they were delicious. They were sweet. They might even be better than the giant pomegranates. It turns out 35% of the food supply in this country gets unsold or uneaten. More than a third. Just because the grocery store doesn't, thinks nobody will buy it or whatever. So you can change that equation with Imperfect Foods. It's a grocery delivery service offering an entire line of sustainable groceries. By the way, we can get a lot of our shopping done there because it's not just produce. It's everything now. They taste delicious. They reduce waste. The way they do it is great. They organize the deliveries in a group so that the truck only goes to the neighborhood once a week. So they reduce emissions. In fact, it's about 25 to 75% fewer emissions than individual trips to the grocery store. On average, Imperfect Food customers save 6 to 8 pounds of food with every order. This is better than your grocery delivery in so many ways. I got some of the best broccoli I've ever had from Imperfect Foods last week. Artichokes. And then we can also get butter, cheese, chips, everything, almost everything we buy at the grocery store from Imperfect Foods. So this makes me so happy. And by the way, I really like this. Say goodbye to packaging guilt It's the only national grocery delivery company that makes it easy to return your packaging after every order. Plus, they don't use plastic bags, so it's just a cardboard box with cardboard liners. So the waste is very, very minimal, and there's no plastic in it, except for the, prepackaged stuff like fruit juices and stuff. I know, that's my big thing right now. I'm really trying to cut back on plastics. You get to choose. It's really good. I just think that the name of the company implies there's going to be something wrong with these, and there is not, as far as I can tell, there is everything right with them. I guess
Leo, if I may.
Yes.
You think about it. The ugliest tomatoes are usually
the best,
most delicious tomatoes.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. You really don't want the biggest zucchini or the biggest pomegranate, the biggest anything. Plus, grocery stores carry, for instance, they carry Hass avocados instead of I think the more delicate, more delicious greener Fuertes, because the Fuertes show bruises and the Hasses are black, so they're bruised, but you can't tell. That, to me, does not make it a great avocado. Imperfect Foods is the solution to this. Help the world. Just go to imperfectfoods.com and look at these numbers, and you'll see how great this is for the environment and how great it is for you. Imperfect, IMPERFECT Foods, IMPERFECT Foods.com. If you use the promo code TWIG, you'll get 20% off your first 4 orders. Your first 4 orders. Very easy to pause. In fact, we're pausing it this week because of Christmas and starting it up again next week. So, again, on average, Imperfect Foods customers save 6 to 8 pounds of food with every order. Food that would be thrown out, tossed away, used to feed animals or something else, not, taken off the grocery shelves. That's a big deal. And I have to say, it's no sacrifice at all. Imperfectfoods.com. The promo code is TWIG. That's how you let them know you saw it here. And please do use that, because not only will you get that 20% off for your first 4 orders, but you'll let them know you saw it on Twig. Just go to imperfectfoods.com and use the promo code TWIG. Imperfect Foods, they're perfect.
So, Leo, they kind of recommend a package to you, but you can change it, looks like.
They give, yeah, exactly. You completely customize it. And you can also then say, I want this every week. It's great. It's like a farm box. It's very much like a farm box, but it's more like I would say it's a cross between a farm box and a grocery delivery, because you can get groceries too. You can get everything. And
I can get rid of the dreaded Brussels sprouts.
You don't have, we get Brussels sprouts because we like them.
You would.
They're delicious.
Oh, no, they're not. They are 3 Mile Island cabbages. They are freaks of nature. They were not
They're
meant to
called
be.
Christmas tree balls.
Oh, that's appetizing. That makes them sound so delicious.
My parents used to call them Christmas tree balls, and I loved them because of it.
So cute. Did they cook?
Today I learned from Die Zeit that sausage and wurst and potato salad is a Christmas Eve tradition in Germany. I'll buy that.
Oh, yeah.
That
sounds good. And
isn't that what they eat every day?
Sure, yeah, I know.
It was fine. So it's traditional on Christmas Eve,
Christmas
too.
Eve, every Eve. It's an Eve. We eat it in the Eve. We eat bread in the morning, Wurst und Sauerkraut at night.
Kartoffelsalat.
And Kartoffel. Actually, is German, so in Germany, do they call it German potato salad? I'm just curious.
like Danishes aren't Danish?
Yeah,
I don't think so. They just call it Kartoffelsalat.
Is it like American potato salad?
No, American potato salad is, of course, like everything else, a bastardization. They don't put, Hellmann's.
There's no mayonnaise in the German potato.
No,
it's vinegar
no.
and bacon.
Vinegar, yeah.
I really like German
potato
onion.
Salad.
Yeah.
Yeah, German potato salad. Right? German cucumber salad is magnificent, too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Here is the Google graveyard for 2021, courtesy Android Police.
It's a crowded place, this.
The last service to be killed this year shall be the first in this reverse chronological list, they say. AngularJS. Wait a minute. They killed no. They lives on as Angular. They just took the JS out. Okay. That's no big deal.
Then. That's not death.
That's not death. That's
this one, though.
Renaming.
Second
Newsletter.
one amazed me. We hardly knew ye.
Is this newsletter a newsletter?
Yeah. Well, it was a newsletter service
It was launched
around for like 3 months, and it never really worked. And they're killing it before
it was launched
started
and died in the same quarter. Wow.
It's the veal of services gone before you know it.
Newsletter.
Ugh.
Wow.
Yeah.
The problem with doing this is if people invest time and energy into creating a newsletter or maybe this is the problem, a newsletter, and then it gets killed a month later. It's like,
I don't think anybody can actually use it yet.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like, I would have seen marketing for it because I get marketed as just about every new newsletter or service out there.
This was from the Google Area 120 team, their experimental team. Google Toolbar, which had been around for 21 years, but I don't think anybody used toolbars with browsers these days, right?
No, they went through this as a kind of wonderful nostalgic visit to a decade ago.
Yeah. Yeah, remember we'd have the toolbar. There were all sorts of toolbars. You'd sometimes in your browser have 3 or 4 stacked. Mostly because browsers didn't do anything. The Google toolbar basically was a search box below the address bar. And it had built-in Google Translation support. Yeah, we don't need that because you just type it in. You don't need it anymore. Google My Maps app. I
didn't know this existed, but I use the web version of this all the time.
Yeah, that will continue on. It's only the Android app. Yeah. So what does it do?
You can create we were going to Portland right after Christmas, hopefully, unless it snows. And I just created a map for this is where our hotel is. These are the 4 restaurants we want to eat at. You just save everything you want to do. And
it's like when you'd go to AAA and they give you a triptych. It was it was a paper map, and you tell them, and they'd mark off the route and all the places you're going to stop and all that stuff. AAA used to do that. Yeah.
I don't know about that. There's also a service called Road Tripper, and I've actually used that service, and it's really good.
It seems like that should be built into maps. Like you should be able to give it waypoints in maps. And
right.
I don't understand why they don't.
I've always thought this. Do not. Yeah. I'm like, why is Google leaving this by the side of the road? Because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. I guess you can view your My Maps using Google Maps, but they didn't want to make the complexity of creating a map be part of Google Maps. So if you go to google.com/ well, this is the other problem.
Maps for you.
Here's the address.
No soup for you.
Here's the address. Google.com/maps/d/u/0/. That doesn't seem that memorable, that you can create a new map and all that. So that's cool. I like that. I hope they don't kill that. You can even add layers. That's neat.
No, it's a nice tool.
Yeah. So what they're killing is the Android version of that.
Right. Just the app.
Just the app. Now I've lost my place by...
next was September 30, Google Bookmarks.
Google? Well, yeah, I'll have to go back. There we go. Google Bookmarks. Well...
But they didn't kill Bookmarks. This was set me terribly when I saw the first...
This isn't the Bookmarks in Chrome. This is that's Bookmark. Like Delicious, and we use Pinboard. Pinboard's great. I like Pinboard. Bookmarks held on saved places in the Map app. Actually, I did use that, but the good news is your maps saved places are still in Maps, which is where you thought they were.
Yeah.
Okay. Chatbase, that's about 4 years old.
I don't remember that one.
It was an analytics platform for the Google's Dialogflow chatbot.
Oh, geez.
I don't know.
Now they bought Fitbit, remember, and absorbed it. When did they absorb it? Fairly recently. They have now killed. They acquired it in 2019. They killed Fitbit Coach and Fitbit Yoga or Fitstar Yoga.
Fitbit Coach was stupid.
Okay.
I didn't even know Fitbit Yoga existed.
Okay.
Take that.
No sadness there. Well, Fitbit Coach was just annoying because they it was a separate app. Anyway, we won't go there.
It was a video-based standalone body weight workout app.
Yeah. And it was this whole separate app, and it didn't work well.
It's going to, the base functionality Actually, an improved functionality will still be in the main Fitbit app, but there is no more Fitbit
separate
Coach separate app or FitStar Yoga separate app. Tour Builder was a service been around since 2013, allowed you to build interactive tours complete with images and videos inside Google Earth. Oh, I remember that, but Google Earth still has similar tools. So this is...
Yeah, I think we hyped this on the show at the time.
Oh, that's so cool. Yes. Oh, really? When it first came out in 2013?
I think we did.
Wow, of course we did. Expeditions and Tour Creator. This is
well, Expeditions is the one we loved.
Yeah, but this is the VR platform you use with Cardboard. It basically, the
students could go anywhere.
Yeah, it's cool. American Natural Museum.
That was neat. Yeah,
Natural history.
Goodbye.
Tour Creator has been killed off. Okay, Poly.
Never heard
This
of it.
was launched in 2017. A repository for 3D objects.
What's the metaverse going to do without them?
Apparently, that's why they're killing it. The metaverse went on without them, leaving Poly in the dust. Wait a minute. Google Play Movies and TV, which we're not talking about. Okay, this was replaced by Google TV, but
this is like their chat branding.
I don't even understand. Anyway, yeah, whatever. It's gone. Measure is gone. We knew that. This is
that made us sad.
The AR app. Yeah, you can't measure your own banana anymore. Yeah, banana for scale.
No
longer.
Stop it there. Keep going. Keep going.
Zinc Render. It was a developer-focused platform, a cloud rendering service for animation and visual effects. They bought it in 2014, killed it in 2021. It was used in American Hustle, Transformers Dark Side of the Moon, and Star Trek Into Darkness. Timely. They killed Timely back in May. That was the alarm clock. Oh, well. No more service. The whole thing is gone. Oh, I used Timely. I remember that because you'd set the alarm on any device, and every device would now have an alarm, and all your devices would go off at once.
Oh, no.
No, that was good because you might have left your phone in somewhere else, but everything you have, the whole thing would go off. I actually liked Timely.
I think Lisa got mad at you for that once.
Timely was a really nice clock. That's sad. So that even the servers are gone for that one. In April, Google Shopping, the app was killed off. In March, Google Public Alerts and Google Crisis Map. I'm sure there's something to replace that. Google Go Links in March. The link shortening service. Google Cardboard. I remember when you and Gina came back from Google I.O.
Tried to put it together in the back seat.
Yeah, that's right.
Gina did it. We couldn't.
It was under everybody's seat at Google I.O. Yeah. Swift for TensorFlow. You probably know about that, Stacy. I don't. It was Apple's Swift language combined with Google's TensorFlow open source library.
Yeah.
And Tilt Brush, which was a really fun application, a VR application. But yeah, it's still open source. Yeah.
Did this person unironically use the phrase funnest VR applications? Tilt Brush was one of Google's funnest VR applications.
I think that is an unironic use.
I think so.
Of the superlative, of the pseudo-superlative funnest. It should be most fun, yes?
It grates. I'm just going to say it grates a little.
I think, though, as we've learned in our magnificent bastard tongue, words become acceptable over time.
I know. I'm like, oh, is that a word that is about to become acceptable?
I think so. And I think you nailed it because I think it was used originally, ironically, like a kid would say funnest, and adults, when they said it, were being ironic. And then, as often is the case, by the way, with languages, it shed the irony, and all that remained was the glittering.
Well, I was reading today about magazines through the century, because I'm working on a project about that. And I didn't know this. Time invented all kinds of new words, including tycoon, socialite, pundit, kudos, guesstimate, male chauvinist, and televangelist.
Wow. I was at first
no
it
idea.
sounded like it was all Gatsby era, but I see some of the more recent stuff coming up. Wow, good for Time.
Yeah.
How did they invent sus?
What?
Sus.
Sus.
Things being suspicious.
Sus.
Oh,
that's sus.
Frank Norris was credited with naming World War II in 1939.
Because at the time there'd only been one.
Yeah. I don't think it was hard. It's like Web3.
Yeah, right.
It's not hard.
I was like,
one.
okay, I guess we'll give him credit.
It's the next
for
World
that?
War. What should we call it? The next World War. The one after World War.
I guess it could have been World War
1A.
II.
We're going to call it 1A. One the sequel. Oh.
What? But when that one's obvious. But like, if you use the word tycoon, how is anybody supposed to know what you're talking about?
I don't know.
Right? Because I mean,
we now know what. Well, that's like we talked about unicorn companies for a year. You had to describe unicorn,
I guess
or
that's
a company
true.
that's
Yeah,
valued in excess of $1 billion, and now we're just like, oh,
and
it's
then
a unicorn.
Wasn't there an F. Scott Fitzgerald novel, The Last Tycoon? So obviously it got picked up pretty quick.
It's also a title applied to foreigners to the shogun of Japan in power between 1857 and 1868. That sounds.
Oh, that's where it came from. So maybe it was the late 19th century that
From the Japanese tycoon, great lord.
There you go. That's okay. In the very first thing Google killed this year was the Loon project to put internet connectivity in a balloon in the stratosphere.
Oh, yeah. And, last year when we did this show, remember we did a show and we predicted what they were going to kill in the coming year. I have no idea what we said they were going to kill, but I'm curious how well we did.
Let's not go to that tape.
There was drinking. It was Mary Jo Foley, Micah, I think.
Yeah.
We
should find that. We should.
Oh, no, that was like 2 years ago because that was last year was COVID.
Right. It was. It was the last one before COVID.
It's the life disappeared.
That's the one.
So it was the
that's the one where
2019.
Anthony Nielsen made each of us different drinks based on our personality. Yeah. One more thing. The first app to be killed in 2021, the first app was App Maker, which I had used actually to make apps. They say, Android Police says in this article that it was for businesses, but I'd used App Maker to make apps, and it was actually pretty cool. So there you go. That's the official. Then that's the change log. That's the ultimate change log. This is the life change log.
That's the doom log.
The doom log. Thank you, Android Police, for putting that all
for working hard
together.
Man.
Yeah. With commentary, nonetheless.
Yeah, well done.
The funnest commentary.
So, is the next stage mostest funnest or most
Funster?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's Funster.
Google says Chrome OS users are engaging with Android apps 50% more than they did last year. I don't even know what that means.
What does it mean?
Do you use Android apps in your Chromebook?
Barely.
I don't have a Chromebook.
Barely.
Apparently, you're in the minority that the Android apps are used more this year. But, I mean, I don't know how much they're used.
Well, what drives me nuts
50% increase. So I don't know.
YouTube is on there, and it took me, and I should have written it down. It took me days to figure out how to stop it from launching the app every time I clicked on a YouTube link.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You made it your default player, and you've got a Chrome browser there, which really is how you prefer, I'm sure.
Yes.
2021 was a good year for app publishers. More than 900 publishers worldwide saw their first $1 million or more in net income, and that number is up significantly over years previously. It's split between Apple's store and the Google store. The green is Google Play, the blue is App Store. Actually, the biggest growth was last year, 2020.
People were stuck at home.
Yeah, and then there was a little drop off for 2021, but still, that's a lot. It's 900 companies that suddenly exceeded $1 million in net revenue.
Can those be one person?
Yeah,
ramen noodle shops?
Many of them are probably. I would guess. Yeah.
I wonder, did they classify like what types of apps? I assume it would be like entertainment.
They
or
did.
Workout.
They did. So this is in the App Store, but it may be roughly. Let's see. No, this is both. Okay, so games In 2021, with 32%, 11% social networking. That's a growth over the last couple of years. Entertainment down a little bit, 7%. Health and fitness, 7%. Productivity had doubled year over year, 6%. And then a big chunk of other.
Thing, I
guess, yeah. Communication publishers did very well on Google Play. According
What's
to
a communications publisher? I have no idea what that is.
Well, I think it's your people, right?
Oh, like media.
No,
Media.
I would think it'd be like Blue Jeans or Zoom.
Communication. Oh, now I don't know. New publishers. 139 publishers are projected to surpass the $1 million mark.
Oh, a publisher is just anybody who puts an app up. So thus they are communications apps. Thus it's things like
communication.
Okay.
So it's Zoom. Okay.
That makes more sense now. They're all publishers here.
You were right.
They all publish apps, which makes no sense, I guess. But what other verb can you use? I don't know.
No, that's the word.
Publish is I actually wrote a post about 2 books about libraries and stuff that I really liked today. And I realized as I was putting the verb into publish, that was I said, or as we'd call it now, share. So it's a antiquated verb.
Yes. I have nothing to add.
You can tell
like,
how
sure. Yes, Jeff.
They're tolerating me going off on these tangents with nothing to say back because what the hell? That killed another 45 seconds.
Yes. I don't know what that means.
I'm like,
actually, here's a shocker. Are you ready?
Yes.
Top domains for 2021. Google, which of course dominated for years, was number 2 to TikTok.
yay.
TikTok up from number 7 last year. Most popular domains in August through December of 2021. TikTok. Wow.
I was on TikTok. Like, I sucked down a lot of TikTok.
But did you do it in the app? That's what's interesting. This is not the app.
Yeah.
This is TikTok.com versus Google.com.
You know what it is? I bet it's because people, when you share something on like Facebook or Twitter,
it opens
TikTok,
the web, huh?
It opens the app, the web.
Oh, maybe so, yeah.
And
with Google, you often don't go to Google to go to Google.
So last year, the top 10 were Google, with exactly what you would think. Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, Amazon, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Kind of got shook up in 2021. TikTok, then Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, Twitter, WhatsApp.
Where did Instagram go?
And Instagram fell off.
Tis gone.
It has an asterisk. What does that mean?
But was it last year that Instagram changed it so you could no longer see things on the web app unless you
That's what happened. They wanted you. They pushed you to the app.
Okay,
You're right. Yep.
So
I'm old enough to remember when Yahoo was number 1.
Me too, Jeff.
Long since.
You're not. I was like, that's not that long ago. It's forever in internet time. But
this is all from Cloudflare, so they have some pretty good.
They have
stats
some pretty good stats. I would trust this. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, I think we got to get Dana Boyd or some sociologists on this one. I mean, what is this? What does this indicate? Really interesting.
But a lot of it too is, I think you're right, Leo. Is how are they defining web visit? Is critical to this list.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just says people going to that site.
Nonetheless, TikTok's exploded.
Yeah.
And it's the I didn't put it on the rundown because it would have pissed me off, unless you want to piss me off. But I know that's a sport. Vox had this ridiculous piece today, just snotty nose about, TikTok and all this horrible things. People are wasting their time. It's just terrible. Screw you. It's the people making their own content. There's great stuff there. It's fun. I went through today for about an hour looking for something to irritate Ant, but I enjoyed it.
It's funny. There was such phobia in the Trump administration about TikTok being a Chinese company and spying on our youth, et cetera, et cetera. That's just disappeared. Now people just enjoy TikTok for what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we put our heads in
there are
sands. Maybe it's
people
still a
who
problem.
are concerned about it.
Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. For some reason, in all of 2021, YouTube, which usually ranks 6 or 7, was number 1 on one day in 2021, February 2nd, 2021.
God, what could that be?
Why, says Cloudflare, one can only guess, but back then, although it was the week of the Super Bowl, and some commercials like the one from Doritos with Matthew McConaughey were out on that day, there was another newsworthy event. The Myanmar coup d'etat had happened the day before. And remember this video of a fitness instructor? She was filming her workout as the coup was happening. You could see the military pulling up at the palace. And it became viral. It was also the day, I don't know, Donald Trump announced a new legal team for the impeachment trial. I don't know, Team 3, Trial 4. I don't know. It's hard to keep track. Bezos announced he would step down as CEO on February 2nd.
That's not a YouTube event.
No. February 11th, the Baby Shark Dance was the most viewed video of all time. Giving me an excuse to play it one more time. No, I'm not going to do that. Can I show this video of the... This is from BBC News. They'll probably take it down. So
just turn the sound down.
No sound, and then they won't know that we're playing their little video. So she was just doing a little exercise routine. You see, at the gates of the palace in Myanmar, when military vehicles start to pull up, she's oblivious. She's just doing her thing. This is the beginning of the coup in Myanmar. Here come the trucks. She doesn't care.
No.
She's doing her little... It's actually kind of hysterical.
It's a metaphor for so much.
Yeah. This is how...
The internet's dancing while Rome burns.
This is life on the internet. Of course, there's a big barricade across the way. I don't know... I guess it's some... Oh, yeah, they're opening the barricade. They're going in. They're going in. The military seizes power. The junta seizes power. And as the BBC points out... The lyrics are saying they are coming one by one to fight over the throne. But she didn't know how apt that was. There they go. Is that wild?
Brits always appreciate some good irony there.
Yeah. So
yeah, they understand irony far better than we.
Yeah. So the Cloudflare says the only thing we could figure out on February 2nd is that. That's why YouTube became #1 that day. Social media domains continued high in the ranking. The 9 main social media applications, all in the top 100. The only one out...
I wish they did this over time, longer time.
Well, they do. Look, you'll be happy to hear this. The only one out was Quora.com. So they do. This is a year, this plot. And so you can see with the colors... Facebook's green, so it's pretty high these are the rankings on the left, 1 through 8.
I am curious, how many new entrants we've had in the last 10 years, for example.
Social media? Yeah.
Or in any of these. I mean, just think about when was the last new entrance to this particular table? Because
most popular social media domains in late 2021, because it varied throughout the year, but as of right around now, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Reddit, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Quora.
Stacey, I think you just made a really important point.
Snapchat still?
Stacey, the fact that TikTok could come out of kind of nowhere and go to #1 is to say that there are huge opportunities to compete with the big kids. Huge.
Well, actually,
you got to have the backing of the Chinese government.
I'm going to actually you. So TikTok purchased a company called Musical.ly, which was really big on the tween girl set, and I can't remember when they did that deal, but that helped propel them into the direction they ended up with.
It was a jump start, but it was much smaller. Yeah,
well, yes.
That was a few years ago. Yeah.
2017. So only
so TikTok maybe came out of nowhere, but it kind of came out of nowhere over the last 5 years.
Well, it's like Google buying YouTube, gave them a heads up in video, right? So you could, there wasn't a head start there, but who would have thought you could?
In ByteDance, that's who I was looking for. It was ByteDance that bought them.
Yeah,
they bought them. Yeah,
ByteDance was not a small company.
No,
true.
Not China.
No, true.
Not in China.
But what I'm saying is, if you're Warner Brothers, may it rest in peace, you had it's like watching Succession, by the way. could a succession by whatchamacallit, Gojo or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. They're
Suddenly
always
get
trying
into
to buy
this.
somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most popular chat apps platforms. Not much change. Signal up a point, taking over for WeChat. Number 1 is WhatsApp. Guess that's not a surprise. Number 2, Telegram. Number 3, WeChat. Oh, I'm sorry. Signal went down a point. I'm sorry. Number 4, Signal. So WhatsApp is pretty dominant as the preferred chat app. I think this is a little bit colored by the fact that this is web-based as opposed to app-based. I mean, really, most people use...
Absolutely.
Maybe they're just looking at the IP addresses. I'm not sure. I guess because it's Cloudflare, they're looking at access to the servers. So maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't matter. Most popular...
I bet they tell us somewhere in this.
I'm sure they do. And if I had read it more carefully, I would know this. Broad internet traffic related year in review. So I guess it isn't just websites. It's internet traffic as a whole. And they certainly know that for a number of reasons. I mean, they're the kind of the front end to a lot of sites on the internet. Signal skyrocketed in January, but WeChat came back in February. You remember when Signal started to skyrocket? When WhatsApp announced that they were going to their privacy
share all their
policy was going to
information.
share their information with Facebook. That's exactly what happened. Oops. Most popular metaverse domains. Roblox, Fortnite, Second Life. There's not a lot of competition. Oculus and Minecraft not even in the top 100,000.
Well, how are those web at all?
It's got to be internet traffic in general.
It's got to be internet traffic,
not
has
websites.
to.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So there you go. Actually, that's really good. I think we'll be following that year every year now from now on.
Yeah, it's a really good
Cloudflare top.
Well, and that's why I think it's interesting to see, like, over time, partially because I think it would show how once you're big enough, you kind of just get entrenched up there. And it makes sense. I mean, if Google, everything about Google, including maps, and did it say it included mail? Let's see. I can't remember. Let's see.
I do
Scrolling down.
know.
It includes maps, translate photos, flights, books, and news. Okay, but it doesn't include mail.
Yeah, Gmail must be
all right.
By itself
Separate.
Bigger than anybody. Yeah, that's interesting. It doesn't include Gmail, so it's really kind of not fair.
Well, no, it's just the more services you have, the more reasons people come to you, and that makes 100% sense.
Yep.
Also, in a world where things are still embedded to an extent, right? You still can query something in your browser and not go through multiple pages. Google's highly efficient still, as much as the EU complains about them. They are.
Making life easy for people and bad for startups and competition.
Let's take a little break, and then we'll. I think Jeff has prepared some TikTok enjoyment for us. Something on our plate.
Not as much as I wanted, but
I don't want this to be This Week in TikTok.
No, we have two. We have one
honestly,
TikTok, and we have one TikTok story that I think is going to be very interesting, particularly for the Laporte family.
And what's Odyssey? What are you talking about? TikTok and Odyssey?
I have no idea.
No, I'm talking to Stacy.
What?
Did you just say TikTok and Odyssey?
Oh, no, I was going to say with TikTok, one of the most aggravating things is at the end of the year, all they're doing is showing off like the most viral video.
Oh,
like what was so basically you're seeing all these videos you've seen before and you're like,
yeah, that's annoying. Now, I don't understand. Does a creator have to go along with that, or is TikTok just doing it to them?
I think they repost it. Yeah.
Okay.
The creator reposts it.
So TikTok tells you what your most viral video is, and then you post it. Yeah, they do that on Facebook. People do that. My top 12 pictures from Facebook or 10 or whatever it is.
I kind of like it, Stacey.
Not Facebook, Instagram.
Enjoyed it.
Instagram.
I do not.
No, because we've seen them all. And you want new. There's a demand for fresh content on TikTok. Henry tells me
I need my fresh
dopamine
rush.
He feels the pressure, man.
I bet.
He went on, the whole family went to Mexico for vacation, and he's like, I gotta make video. because you got to feed the monster. Our show today brought to you by userway.org. Really a fan of this company. We have a lot of blind listeners, and I know, while podcasts are great for blind listeners, the World Wide Web, not so much so. Websites often leave them in the dark, if you will. It's all about accessibility. And by the way, you have a legal obligation to make your website accessible according to the Americans with Disabilities Act. You've got to be ADA compliant or you're open to lawsuits. Userway solves that problem. It's an incredible AI-powered solution that with one line of JavaScript enforces the hundreds of web content accessibility guidelines. It can achieve more than an entire team of developers. I know the idea of making your website, everybody likes the idea, but it also is challenging because you worry it's going to cost a lot. It's going to be hard to do. Going to be a lot of maintenance. Not with Userway. One line of JavaScript makes your website accessible. It's simple. It's easy. It's cost effective. Start by going to userway.org/twit and using their ADA scanning tool to see if your website is compliant. You can run it through. You can check it. You can see where the problems are. You might decide, as some of the biggest companies in the world have decided, to use Userway. Over 1 million websites now use Userway, including Coca-Cola, Disney, eBay, FedEx, Walmart. UNICEF uses Userway. And now Userway is making its best-in-class enterprise-level accessibility tools available to small and medium-sized businesses for a small and medium-sized price. In fact, it's very, very affordable, which was a huge relief to me. Because, I know I want to operate an accessible, compliant website. It's not just the right thing to do it. It's good business sense. You don't want to turn people away. 60 million Americans with disabilities want to purchase your products. But when they can't use your shopping cart, that's the end of the line. Userway will fix image tags. It will remediate complex nav menus. It'll ensure all the pop-ups are accessible, that your shopping cart is accessible. It'll make sure you use accessible colors while remaining true to your brand colors. And it'll give you a detailed report of all the violations that were fixed on your website. Userway is easy to install. It's just a plug-in with some of the big sites like WordPress. It works with Shopify, it works with Wix, AEM, Sitecore, SharePoint. But any site you can add a line of JavaScript to, Userway will work with. It integrates seamlessly, it's affordable, and it'll help you meet your compliance goals and really, most importantly, improve the experience for your users. Just ask Susan Bennett, the former voice of Siri.
Hi, I'm Susan Bennett, the original voice of Siri. You won't hear me say something like this too often. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're looking for. But every day, that's what the internet is like for millions of people with disabilities. Userway fixes all of that with just one line of code.
Well, that's it. Userway can make any website fully accessible and ADA compliant. With Userway, everyone who visits your site can browse seamlessly, customize it to fit their needs. It's a great way to show your commitment to millions of people with disabilities. And it's easy, and it's very affordable. When you go to userway.org/twit, you'll get 30% off Userway's AI-powered accessibility solution. Userway, making the internet accessible for everyone. I like that. Userway.org/twit. Userway.org/twit. If you've been waiting and waiting for an update to your Pixel 6, Jeff, you thought you got it. Did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Stacy, somebody got it. Maybe it was Ann.
I thought I got it. Yeah.
So you were the unlucky one because Google's paused it. So the big December update, which is not just a security update, but was a fix for a lot of things, apparently caused some number of people to have connectivity problems. It reduced their their bars, and they were dropping calls that were getting low quality. I don't know if you've been experiencing
My island
that.
has terrible cell service,
so you wouldn't even notice.
You
wouldn't know. So there's been a lot of question back and forth. What's going on? Why can't I get it? This is the slowest rollout ever in history. Well, now it's pretty apparent that Google has actually paused it because of these connectivity issues. And until they fix it, they're not going to push it out. So the December update at this point, probably a January update. And don't feel bad if you didn't get it, because very few people except Stacy got it. So this just in. This just
Oh, you wanted this just in?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Is this just in? The FTC is looking at Amazon's cloud business. Did you see that story?
No, I didn't see that.
It was in Bloomberg. It's a Bloomberg. So federal investigators have contacted several companies about AWS, Amazon Web Services. And
Lena Khan at it again.
Yeah.
I think we can safely say Congress is going to do diddly because they can't seem to get anything done anyway. So this seems like an unlikely scenario. But if there's any hope of regulation of big tech in the United States, it's going to be through the FTC.
And that's terrible because the FTC, they have regulatory guidelines. So what will happen is if they fine or censure Amazon here, Amazon will sue them. They've already demanded a recusal. Amazon's clearly not going to just roll over on this. So then we'll get a lawsuit. Then we'll get the inevitable countersuit. Then we'll get, the appeals process and everything. And it'll be just like Microsoft antitrust all over again.
Yep. She, of course, when she was a Columbia Law School professor, wrote papers warning about... It was
a foundational antitrust paper.
Yeah, warning about Amazon, and that's why Amazon said she has to recuse herself. Courts said no, she doesn't, and now that she's the chairperson of the FTC, it looks like there's going to be a lot more activity against big tech from the FTC.
And she has certain muscle, but you're right, Congress won't. Congress is doing stuff for headlines. Mike Masnick and Jeff Kossoff were going angry today because Klobuchar and company were demanding to know about moderation decisions from the platforms. Well, that's a First Amendment question. It's not government's right to do that. You wouldn't ask the New York Times. How dare you ask anybody else? Yeah. But they're just doing it they know that they can't do it. They know it violates the First Amendment, but they're doing it to get headlines.
Yeah.
And so that's what Congress is out for.
Yeah. It's kind of depressing.
There's real work to be done, but they're jerks.
Well, they're just turning out to be the Pauls that we used to think they were, and turns out they really are.
Pauls?
Pauls. P-O-L-S. Politicians.
Oh, got it.
It comes from, what does it come from, like Tammany Hall, and the notion of this kind of corrupt ward healer who runs the joint but doesn't really look out for his constituency particularly, unless it serves his ambitions. That's what I mean when I call you a Paul, okay? The first Tesla baby has been born.
This is a pretty amazing story.
So, Euron Sherry, 33, her husband, Keating Sherry, 34, of Wayne, Pennsylvania, on their way to the hospital when her water broke. Traffic was really bad. Wasn't moving too well.
Well, he puts the car on auto. He
sets the nav for the hospital. and and he says he's got his left hand lightly on the wheel while glancing back to check on his wife in the or the kids in the back seat, and swiveling to tend to his wife in the front seat. Euron's contractions were 1 minute apart. You know what that means. She was squeezing my hand to the point where I thought she was going to shatter it. I was saying, okay, focus on your breathing. My adrenaline was pumping. I said, Rafa, everything's fine. Your baby sister is arriving. The 20-minute drive to the hospital felt like 2 hours. Each time she caught her breath between contractions, she glanced at the GPS to clock their progress. Just as they pulled up to the hospital, the Tesla driving the whole way, I might add, she whispered, "Oh my God, Keating, she's out." The pediatrician happened to be standing right outside the doors. He summoned nurses who raced down, cut the umbilical cord over the car's front seat. Baby healthy, mother healthy, and car made it.
He said he had to do some major cleaning with the car.
Hey, who cares? That's fine. That's why you get the leather seats.
Yeah.
That the birth apparently was flawless. And the family of four made it to the hospital thanks to the Tesla driving them there. So they're calling it the first Tesla self-driving baby.
They considered briefly, though she I think, quite properly vetoed this using the middle name Tess.
No.
But no.
They're going to call her Maeve Lily. Obviously, Westworld fans. That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice family.
Yeah.
It's so dangerous because we know it's not good.
I know. Well,
I know. But what are you going to do if you're in that position?
You pull
What are you going to pull over?
Just like everybody's done since the car was invented. They did it in buggies. You just pull over.
You call 911.
You have the baby. But we're almost there. Watch the GPS, honey, and breathe.
Can you go a little lighter in my hand? Can you let go of my hand a little bit?
The case of the self-driving baby. They really should have named her Tess. I think that's
Tess. Yeah, that's 10-1 nickname.
That's what she gets called, right?
Yeah.
So this is the TikTok story you put in here from The Verge. TikTok kitchens. So I have a little bit of self-interest, conflict of interest with this one because my son is on TikTok with 1.7 million followers. He's a TikTok chef. But apparently, he picked a good time to become a TikTok chef because cooking is huge on TikTok. And TikTok has decided to create pop-up kitchens with some of the creations of their content creators. This is, all of this, every one of these platforms is vying to get creators to make stuff on their platform because essentially you get free content. It's what drives the platform, whether it's YouTube or TikTok or Snapchat or Twitter or whatever, or Instagram. So this is the spiff that TikTok is offering these cooks. We'll take your recipe and we'll let people order it. They're going to open 300 locations across the U.S. to start, but plan on expanding to 1,000 by the end of next year. They partnered with Virtual Dining Concepts, which is, I guess, a pop-up kitchen, ghost kitchens. Yeah,
it's a ghost kitchen company. They use some existing restaurants, I think, and then they create kitchens.
It'll be delivery only.
No brand to go to.
It'll cook up some of the trendiest recipes on the app. I know that Salt Hank's stuff would probably be among those. TikTok kitchens will operate out of some existing kitchens like Buca di Beppo and Bertucci's.
Near me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And they'll share revenue with the creators, but they don't have to, right? Because you can't copyright a recipe.
Right.
No.
Right.
So,
but TikTok
the
knows
creators
that,
would go berserk.
It's about the creators.
Yeah.
Look at they all they have to do is look over their shoulder at Twitter and how they killed Vine by not valuing the creators, and they know that how easy it is to lose these people. So
yes,
yeah, they're going to make sure. So the very first menu will feature the baked feta pasta.
By the way, who really wants that? Right? It was fun to watch.
I don't want to eat it.
Maybe it was even fun to do.
It doesn't look good.
Are you going to order that to be brought home? I don't think so.
Air fried strips of corn, known as corn ribs. They really need to talk to my son. The crispy cheese-covered pasta chips and the smash burger. These are all novelty foods, not good foods.
Right. You want a great killer roast beef sandwich with cheese on it and jus. No. Like Hank has.
What you want is to taste something crazy. This is a search. This is entertainment. This isn't food.
All right. You're right. You're not ordering this for dinner. This is just like, hey, you got to.
Then you do it once and you don't do it again.
Yeah. Mr. Beast, the Mr. Beast burger, Mr. Beast, the #1 YouTube star, VDC created a kitchen for him with the Mr. Beast burger towards the end of last year. They sold 1 million burgers in 3 months, and there are now 15.
Kidding me.
Yeah, and there are now 1,500 kitchens throughout the U.S., Canada, and the UK. So,
yeah,
it's good time.
I mean, it is possible that some of this will become like part of the food lexicon. But the nice thing about ghost kitchens is they're outfitted specifically to churn out batches of stuff and then flip.
Yeah.
Right. The fad goes, fine, you're done.
Yeah.
Geez, I could order a Mr. Beast burger?
Well, you could have. I don't know if you should check.
Yeah, no, I look
maybe Bertucci's will bring one over for you.
Your heart, Jeff. Your heart.
I can only get delivery, though, not pickup.
Yes.
Pretty far away.
No, I think they don't want you to see where it's made.
It's the bodega up the street.
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably Bertucci's for you.
Or maybe a trailer where they make meth other days.
Well, you don't know. Yeah. We had mentioned that Google TVs were yanked from Best Buy summarily. We hypothesized it's because TCL is going to be making the Amazon TVs featuring the Fire TV, but TCL has resumed selling its Google TVs. They had to roll out some software fixes, so it was just a software issue,
them, right?
Yeah. These are actually very nice TVs. TCL has for years offered Roku built in, and now they're offering Google TV built in into its 5 and 6 series. Apparently, the software was sluggish and buggy, and now that it's updated, they're back on sale. Sidewalk Labs, which is Google's data-focused smart city. Yeah. Now folded back into Google.
Don Doctoroff.
Not Cory Doctorow.
Dan Doctoroff. Yeah.
Doctoroff. Sorry. Yeah. Has health issues.
Yeah.
So, and they also, this is their ignoble retreat from activists against what they were trying to do.
It'll be on next year's kill list, I'm afraid.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
I still think there's very neat things to be done there, but I wish.
I totally do.
I think anytime we talk about smart cities, you have an inherent conflict of interest between citizens who, are distrustful of data in cities that are like, we'll do whatever we can to help get a cool service and offset some of our costs because people don't want to pay taxes. And it's a nasty dynamic.
I think it's also there is some, I'm sorry, Jeff, moral panic here. And this is
That's
tension.
Trademark, Leo. That's my
This is the tension throughout everything we cover, which is that data can make it better. This is, having the data
Google
about...
they didn't want to share that data with others. They wanted to take that data, but they didn't want to provide it out. And that's not cool.
No, it's the city's data. So that obviously is a non-starter. And if they're going to be intransigent about that, it doesn't work. But there's also this legitimate, I understand, concern for privacy. And I don't think there's any evidence that a city government is going to protect your data any better than Google would.
They would probably be worse.
Yeah.
Probably worse. Yep.
Yeah. But people don't want the big company to get it, right? So
it wasn't just that. What they didn't want was Google getting access to this data when other competitors couldn't come in and get access to this data.
I understand that. Yeah. And that's an easy thing to fix. And if Google doesn't fix that, then then they're wrong.
Yeah.
Well, to Google's point, they're like, why would we share this data? This is why we're doing and investing in this, is so we can get access to this information.
Oh, you mean they're not doing it for the public good?
Right. So,
Now, you must have put this in because there's a question mark next to this story.
Yes, I did.
Does this mean anything?
I can tell you.
Verizon and Google.
Because
let me just give them the story and then you can explain it.
So my news feed, because what I do is to look at the show and irritate Stacy and put things into the rundown. If I go to Google News and type in Google, it's weird. But if I go to search Google for Google and then click on news, then I get a nice feed. Suddenly today, there was kind of a redesign, and there were also more press releases in it, which was a little interesting. And so I came across this one for Google and Verizon. And so my mind was thinking it's a news story. I realized it's a press release. But then I read it and I think, what the hell does this mean? So I thought, I'll ask Stacy.
That's fair.
Because it made no sense. I couldn't get any sense out of this thing.
Yeah. So what's happening is, big picture. Oh, did you read the headline out loud?
No, I didn't. Verizon and Google Cloud to collaborate to deliver 5G mobile edge computing, to bring the power of the cloud closer to mobile and connected devices at the edge of Verizon's network. A lowercase edge in that case, next paragraph, Google Distributed Cloud Edge, all uppercase, Verizon 5G Edge, intends to bring compute and storage services to the network edge, lowercase e, to support real-time enterprise applications. I threw up my hands. I said that I have no idea what's happening here. Is there anything happening? So basically
what's happening, there is a thing happening, and this thing is this. One, the telcos have given up on the cloud, and we saw this coming. This happened in 2020. We saw these deals. Microsoft has one of these with Azure. AT&T has one with Azure. Verizon has one with Google and with AWS. AT&T might have one with AWS. Anyway, the point is all the stuff used to happen in Google and Azure and AWS's cloud data centers, right? The ones that keep going down. So with 5G and everything happening on your mobile devices, and then this idea of like the edge being like inside a factory, latency becomes important. So you don't want to send your data all the way back to Google's data centers. You want to send it someplace a little closer. So Verizon, they have little tiny data centers all over the place because they've got cell towers all over the place. And at the base of those, they've got a bunch of servers. They also have like central offices for, the telco networks. So now you can get access to Google or Amazon or any one of, depending on the partnership, they run their cloud software in Verizon's data centers because it's lower latency. So
so it is, it's like what's the company with the Hawaiian name that puts everything on all servers around the country, the world? Akamai. So a sponsor, by the way, on or off. So it is near the edge. It is literally physically around their network. That's what you're saying.
It is physically on their network. It's a little different. So Akamai only does, well, they've expanded, but this is Google's cloud software. So basically, if you build something designed for like Amazon or Google's cloud, you're using certain services. Mm-hmm. You don't have to change anything about your application to run it now a little closer because it's going to run on those same services located.
Got it. Okay, now it makes sense. Thank you, Stacey. I knew you would know. I don't know if it was worth talking about, but I just couldn't figure it out.
Well, we throw that term around, so it's good to explain it, I think.
I was going to say the biggest deal with the edge, and you're going to hear this will be a point of contention for like the next few years, is people will be like the edge. And there's the telco edge, which is what these people are talking about. There's the, edge, which is usually like a gateway device, like just a server that's sitting in like a factory floor. And then there's what a lot of the cloud companies call the farthest edge, which is actually where I'm most excited, which is actually the devices themselves. And so what I'm actually really excited about is what the cloud guys call the farthest edge is the most interesting place, because that's where you're seeing a lot of really cool innovation happen with distributed computing. And you're seeing a bunch of startups arise trying to make it so you can actually do an ad hoc distributed computing kind of system. And that's going to be awesome because then you don't have to send stuff back to the cloud. There's going to be more data privacy. There's going to be lower latencies. It's going to be really cool, but nobody yet has a dog in that hunt except these startups. And so you get a lot of like the big guys kind of like calling things that's the edge that aren't really the edge. And you're going to start seeing the big guys buy companies here as they realize their container strategy is going to ultimately fail for the IoT. So like next 3 years or so, that's going to be a huge thing to think about, like a big macro picture.
And what does this have to do with Microsoft's Edge browser?
Nothing.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing.
Actually, speaking of browsers, Chrome 100, that's a major landmark. What is Chrome currently? Is it 96, 97? We're getting close. Chrome is set to reach version 100, but apparently it's, according to the Chromium bug tracker, it's going to break some websites. Yeah, the websites that are known to be affected are primarily those developed with a web design kit called Duda or Duda. These websites all use the same bit of code to check what version of Chrome you're using. They're used to 2 digits. This is kind of like a mini Y2K. But 3 digits, I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what the hell it is. That's
I love how people just make the same mistakes over and over and over again.
So Duda blocks automatically any version of Chrome below 40. However, when you get to 100, if you only look at the first 2 digits, it looks like Chrome 10, and it will be blocked. And so there. So something's going to have to give. I think they'll figure out a way around this. But anyway, this is so stupid. One solution is to add a flag to Chrome //flags that will be able to give you the chance to test whether a site will be affected. And it'll let you put the major version 100 in the minor version position in user agent.
Huh?
So instead of saying Chrome 100 dot whatever dot 0, it'll say Chrome 99.100, thereby bypassing it. That's ridiculous, but that's what we have to do sometimes.
That is the world we live in.
That's the world we live in, as Stacey
Life
says.
is a kludge.
Yeah, what a kludge. Is that crazy? It's time for, speaking of the edge, time to go off the edge with our NFT segment. Melania Trump planning to launch her new NFT platform. And of course, its intent is to inspire. It's all about the inspiration. President Donald Trump once called Bitcoin a scam that competed against the dollar, because everything's a competition. But on Thursday, Melania announced a new business venture embracing cryptocurrency and digital art, a platform to sell NFTs. This is the first thing she's done since leaving the White House. I'm not sure whose NFTs. Well, I guess I do know. The first NFT offering is a watercolor depiction of Melania's cobalt blue eyes. It's called Melania's Vision. As a collector, if you buy the NFT, you'll get an amulet to inspire. Each NFT will cost $187. Next month, she'll offer NFTs in a, quote, one-of-a-kind auction of historical importance that will include digital artwork, physical artwork, and a physical one-of-a-kind accessory. By the way, that's the hot new thing right now. Tom Brady just sold $1.3 million in NFTs. He's a quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the greatest of all time. He auctioned off not possession of, but an NFT of his old college cleats, his college resume, and I think
Can't make sense of it.
I think you get a little thing, a little token that you can hang around your neck.
Can I do an NFT of the memo that rejected Entertainment Weekly? Or
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's if somebody will buy it, do it. According to the former First Lady, a portion of the proceeds, unspecified what portion. A portion. I don't know. We're going to give them a penny. I don't know. Will assist children aging out of the foster care system. So there you go.
And by the way, it speaks.
It speaks?
It speaks. The NFT speaks.
It says something?
Yes, she says something.
Does it say be best?
Be best.
Please.
Be
Please
best.
let it say be best.
Be best.
It says something that's just pure pap. I can't remember what it was, and I had it before. And I lost it.
I wish I'm looking at the Washington Post story about this. Anyway, it's interesting.
If you,
okay, that's fine.
okay, never mind.
We don't really
it's
care.
over now.
We don't care. It's over now. We're moving on.
Okay. It is radio. We can look at it here.
If we had the audio, if you can find the audio, I'll play it.
No. It's not
I guess you only get the audio if you buy the NFT.
it brings back terrible memories.
Adidas is revealing a new NFT project with the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Sometimes I feel like I don't know what this world is that I'm living in, but it's nothing like.
This makes me feel old in a way that nothing else in my life has.
Yeah.
I know, but I don't think it's aged.
And I have a teenage daughter.
The Bored Yacht Club does. But the NFT part is not age. It's aging bros who love that stuff.
The Bored Ape Yacht Club, which membership is granted by owning one of 10,000 profile pictures of bored apes. The NFTs cost at least $200,000 a piece. And Adidas apparently purchased an Adidas-clad ape named Indigo Hertz. Then there's this G Money guy. I can't. It's just, I just read it and it's just, I glaze over.
Well, it's like me in that press release. It's the Verizon press release.
Yeah, except we don't have anybody here to explain it.
I know.
And your eyes may have still glazed over, which would have been totally fine. It's not exciting.
The world's very first text message is now an NFT. And get this, it's sold for $150,000 at a Paris auction house. This is what you get, which is a picture of a phone with the SMS on it.
So who had the rights, in a sense, to sell that?
That's a good question.
My cousin Richard Jarvis. No, that's
yeah. So the first text message was sent on December 3rd, 1992. So we just missed the anniversary. Remind me next year we could celebrate the 30th anniversary of the first text message. It said, "Merry Christmas." It was sent by British programmer Neil Papworth to Richard Jarvis, director of Vodafone. Jarvis received the message on his Orbitel 901 cell phone at the company's Christmas party. The NFT itself is a replica of the original communication protocol that transmitted the SMS. The unknown buyer, who has to pay in ETH, will receive a digital frame with a 3D animation of the message being received. I guess it's Papworth who sold it. Just weird.
I recently told my children that I sent the first text. They said, "Dad, you can make a fortune for our inheritance."
Oh, Lord. Wikipedia co-founder Jimmy Wales has sold an NFT of the first ever edit made on Wikipedia.
Right. Which pissed off some Wikipedians, but he did it for... The fun part is on Twitter all the time, people fighting about NFTs and Web3, and nobody knows what anybody else is talking about. When I go to academic things, they spend the first half of the day defining terms.
Yeah.
But nobody knows what these terms mean.
Yeah.
Well, they think they do, but everybody's saying different things to each other, and then they're arguing about it, and I can't get my head into it.
It's like you're in an eternal clubhouse loop.
Oof.
I'm trying to read, and I haven't finished it yet. But did y'all read Tim O'Reilly's thing on Web3?
No.
It's an open tab, Stacey. It's an open tab.
I'm like, it's an open tab that I'm getting to as soon as I'm done with my emails. Yeah. So maybe next week or.
Yeah, it may sit there for a while, but because when you think about it, Web 2.0 itself was hubristic of a sort. Like, oh, we already finished web. We know what the next one is. We know the third one. No, it may be Web 0.001. We're early in this thing.
Let me do the Google changelog, and then we can get your picks of the week, because
Leo's like, man, you guys, we're just
today.
Suffering here.
It's painful. It's just painful.
Google changelog.
So you remember last week we all got severe weather alerts for a cyclone coming to the Philippines. I guess there is a fix, which is essentially they've turned off severe weather alerts in the Pixel Launcher's At a Glance widget, just completely disabled. That's one way to fix something. Google
that means when the snow hits Seattle later this week, I'm not going to get a notification.
Well, you might, but you just won't get it through that widget if you use the At a Glance widget. You might get a notification on your phone in other ways. You probably will.
Yay.
No one's saying, Google hasn't said, but 9 to 5 Google noticed that the severe weather alerts have been disabled, and you can't re-enable them. So, that's a change, right? That counts. Google is turning, if you've got an on-hub router. Now, I'm not even a fan of the current Google Wi-Fi routers, but I don't remember these on-hubs. This goes back a ways.
People did buy them. I think Kevin used to have them many, many years ago. Yeah.
They're turning off the controls. So this is an example of an IoT device that doesn't actually work without support from the company. Although, most routers that we're used to do, they're just a box. It's a computer in a box, But these on-hub routers apparently need support from a Google server that will be lights out December 19th.
Yeah, well, most of our routers these days
already did. That's a couple of days ago.
Yeah. But they did give you a discount, a 40% off discount on the Nest Google Wi-Fi routers, if you want those. I would not recommend them.
No, I wouldn't either. And I think those...
Would you recommend these days?
Oh, Eero's good.
I like the Eeros. I like the Orbeez.
That's exactly. So Scott Wilkinson asked me, and those are the two I recommended.
TP-Link has some good ones, too.
There's a problem in the TP-Link apparently is setting up a invisible Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi network on some of its routers.
You know, we get all up in arms about that every single time someone does it. But, you know, Comcast has it. All the ISPs have their little fake Wi-Fi network, or their public Wi-Fi's on existing routers.
Yeah.
We've seen it from, I can't think of the company right now. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, if that's not your jam, then don't.
I think this one you can't turn off, but I think they're going to fix that by adding that feature in a firmware.
You're automatically opted in?
Yeah.
Just like Amazon Sidewalk Network?
Kind of like that. Hey, I like this. New rules for incoming voice calls. If you use Google Voice, you can now control who gets forwarded. You could forward calls from specific contacts to linked phone numbers or directly to voicemail. So if you decide, I don't want to get any more calls from Jeff Jarvis, send them straight to voicemail by person. You can opt to
and it
go ahead.
Groups in your contacts. So if you actually, like, I'm like sitting here thinking, oh, if I had actually labeled all the PR people in my contacts as PR people, I could be like,
yeah,
voicemail.
Yeah. You could set custom voicemail greetings for specific contacts. Used to be able to do that for groups. I mean, you can do that for groups. I remember it kind of puzzled my family when I said, hi, this is Leo. I can't take your call right now. Leave a message. I love you. Jennifer said, do you say that to everybody who calls? I said, no, it knows it's you. It knows it's you.
You just call yourself Leo?
Leo, well, for my family, that's my real name. That's the name I use, yeah.
Oh, I just was wondering about that.
I'm TIL.
We could call you Leo.
You could call me Leo.
I like Leo. Leo's very classy.
It's L-E accente gu over the E, acute accent over the E-O. It was the bane of my childhood because, right. A kid with a diacritical mark on his is Leo. What the hell? So when I got into radio, for a while I used a phony name. I was Dave Allen and Dan Hayes. But when I got to radio in San Francisco, I said, I would like to use my real name now. And my program director said, well, what's your real name? I said, it's Leo Laporte. And he said, that sounds gay. You can't use that.
It's San Francisco. It'd be huge.
What are you talking about? So I said, well, and the driver's license is spelled Leo. I could just say Leo. And they said, that's fine. Much more manly.
We should be calling you Leo Laporte.
Leo Laporte.
I love that
name. Yeah.
I love that.
No,
that's
but
so
it's
classy.
I guess it's too fancy.
Yeah.
If you want to call me Leo, do Lisa. It's funny because I tell Lisa, you should call me Leo. That's my name, and I'm your husband. You can call me my real name now. But she alternates back and forth because, at work she calls me Leo. And yeah, anyway, so I am Leo. And so that's why I said that. That's the thing. They got a custom message because they knew who I was.
I grabbed onto that.
That's what, yes.
Like a Jack Russell Terrier on a foot.
Who's this Leo? Opt to screen calls from specific contacts. So you can really go person by person. Apply rules for all your contacts or specific groups within your contacts. This is great. I hope that Google Fi will get this because when I got Fi, as you did too, you gave up your Google Voice phone number to your Fi number, and I think you lose some of the features of that. Now, of course, they're giving Google Voice new features, so that's cool. Brand new. That's a change. And the Home Mini, they finally stopped selling it. That's the little Google Home, fabric-colored Google Home, which was the least expensive.
That should have been on the list of things killed.
Yeah, I think that's a great little product. The Nest Mini replaced it, so it's really, there is still a Mini, but
What does the Nest Mini look like?
Let's go to the store and find out. Store.google.com.
Sorry, I'm just like, what? There's another small one?
The Nest Mini, second generation. It's even more mighty.
It looks just the same thing.
It's similar,
okay.
yeah.
It's another Google rebranding.
Well, but it's got the little lights on it. Yeah. So the home.
And I think is it entirely fabric colored or covered?
I can't tell.
No,
Let's
but
see
the
it in
bottom is the
3D.
same color.
Let's load the 3D image.
It's no longer a 67 Falcon.
Okay, all right. Oh, it's the same. I guess not two-tone. I guess I get what you're saying now.
Punchy.
It's not. Yeah, I am too. It's not two-tone. So I didn't realize they still were selling the version called the Home Mini. Yeah. That's interesting. Trying to see where they would sell that.
I don't know, but you can get the Nest Mini for $25.
Yeah. That's why it's important that I think they still sell these inexpensive ones. They have to compete with Amazon Echoes. Yeah. And the sound is very good on them. They're better than the Echoes. They sound fine.
I think Google speakers, I prefer their sound to the Echo sounds.
Me too. And that's change log.
A pulled together,
truncated out of nothing. Nothing.
String and chewing gum changelog.
Yeah. Our show today is sponsored by AT&T Active Armor. You know how it is. You spent the day staring at your phone. You're waiting for that critical call, maybe the job offer, or your friend's in the hospital, or a family member needs a ride, and then the phone rings and you jump, you leap, you pick it up, and what is it? It's a robot trying to sell you more car insurance or some such or vacation timeshare. Fraud calls are it. They're done for me because I've got AT&T Active Armor. Don't let fraud calls disappoint you. AT&T makes your security a top priority, helping block fraud calls with AT&T Active Armor. It's not complicated. AT&T Active Armor 24/7, proactive network security, fraud call blocking, and spam notifications to help stop threats at no extra charge. Compatible devices, service required. Visit att.com/activearmor for details. The phone rings. Some guy named Leo's on the line trying to talk to you. Who the hell is that?
Leo?
And why does he keep saying he loves me?
Rebranded by Google. I love looking. I love Jason just on the minute, right? So I'm watching. I go to the bottom of the rundown and see the edit notes.
Yeah.
AT&T ad has false start. Boom, there it is. Right, it's all there. It's amazing.
Yeah. He's good. This thing. He's sitting there watching the show. What a thought! What a concept.
Poor guy. You have to pay him to do that. I guess.
Yes.
But then it says at 2:36.
I have to pay all my friends, Jeff.
Yes,
even
do.
You.
Yes. And I'm grateful as hell. At 2:36, Leo says ALEXA. Do you bleep that?
Yeah.
You do? Wow.
Yeah. Even though that was not the ALEXA that is Amazon's Echo. That was the ALEXA that used to be the web plugin. Remember that you would add a toolbar?
Right.
I think that's,
right.
I think that's what I was talking about. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. Yeah, the toolbar. Oh, now he said it again.
I get to watch it go in again.
Jeff, you're easily amused. Stacy, do you have a pick?
I love behind the scenes stuff. How they make the sausage.
Fascinated. Yes.
Oh Lord. Do I have a pick of the week? The answer is not
you
really.
Can say no. You can say no.
Weeks.
I'm like, it's
the last week of the year. All right. No, I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
I was like, I have lots of things I've been
In
enjoying.
lieu of the
but none
pick,
of them are like.
I'm going to ask you a question, okay? What's your favorite gift that you're giving this year? Your husband and wife. Your husband and your daughter don't listen, right?
They do not.
So what are you excited about? Is there a gift you're giving besides slippers? We already know you're giving that.
That's a very good question. I like that one.
Because that would be a pick of the year, really.
Yeah. Does it plug in, whatever it is?
No, I didn't. Actually this year I didn't get any connected gifts.
It's all clothing and stuff?
Well, it's because I really had a lot of second guesses around like privacy issues and.
See, moral panic is ruining Christmas.
Oh boy, it is.
No,
the
they're
war on
getting
Christmas.
good presents. They're getting good presents.
They're just
you
privacy
guys,
first.
Evil.
How about a Lexus with a bow on it?
Yeah, that's not happening. I'm trying to think of. I know.
What?
I got a cocktail shaker because we had my favorite cocktail shaker. You know how you have cocktail shakers?
Oh, I have many. I have one that's a penguin. I really like it.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
So like the traditional Boston shaker,
Yes.
you know, when it gets cold, it
You
gets
can't
stuck.
get the lid off. Oh my God, this is the biggest problem.
Yes. So we had this OXO
Is this a cocktail
one.
a cocktail shaker lid remover?
No, it's a different kind of cocktail shaker
Okay,
that unscrews.
yes.
So we had one that unscrews, and
An
this
OXO,
one was
yeah.
it was an OXO one, but then the rim came off, and so I got another one, and it's called. I'm going to tell you because it was a Kickstarter.
Oh, this is even getting better and better. This is
really
good. This is if I just search for Kickstarter cocktail shaker, I bet I could find it. The elevated craft cocktail shaker.
Yes, elevated craft. I was like, element? So this is what I got him, and it's excellent.
Holy cow, this is the highest end cocktail shaker ever. They raised $500,000.
Yeah, but it screws, and the top is also the measuring cup, which is a very nice thing.
Yeah.
So this is something I'm excited to give, and you can buy it. Now it's available on the
You
site.
can order it. Oh, it looks big too. Like you could put a bunch of martinis.
You could put 2 like substantial cocktails in there.
No more sticky leaks,
And-
no more frozen hands, no more stuck lids.
Yes.
I thought it was just me.
No.
Oh,
No,
man.
this is like a really, I am truly excited about
And
this.
if you wanted to, it
and
stays
you could buy
cold.
the gaskets.
Oh, it's got gaskets.
Yeah, so you can buy gaskets when your gasket inevitably
This is
fails.
a very good gift.
So you bought this for yourself,
Yeah.
Stacey?
I bought it for us, but it's going to him.
No, that's a perfect gift. And
So,
because it's a
yes.
thermos, you don't get cold hands even. This is
Yeah.
so...
Oh.
Who would have thought they could put such energy into such a simple product? This is great. Oh, look at that. There's the measuring cup on the side. Oh, that is
Nobody
nice.
tell my husband.
Okay,
It's a
top
complete
secret.
surprise.
There you go. And yeah, you can go. The Kickstarter campaign's ended, but you can order now. ElevatedCraft.com. Oh man, I wish I could get this in time for Christmas. This would be great for Lisa. Oh my God.
She's watching. So
She might be. Look at glass cocktail straws too.
Leo, it's the perfect gift for New Year's,
Oh, it is.
isn't it?
Right now. Should I get Oh, that's
I love getting to buy stuff.
great.
It's my favorite thing, getting Leo to buy.
Should I get it says don't forget to add
Leo
a
on layover.
backup gasket kit. Well, they're only $5. Sure, why not?
I don't think you need the gasket kit.
Well, you don't want to get caught without a gasket.
You don't want to blow
Blow
a
one.
gasket and then poof, you got dribbles.
Oh my God, this is so cool. Jeff Jarvis, while I'm ordering,
I
Lisa's
see. You can
holiday
order.
gift.
I can't.
you can't tweet. No, it's
While we're
different.
on.
Very big
Oh.
difference. Yep.
So I got one here,
Yes.
which is that January 1st will be, since we're not back before then, Public Domain Day for 2022.
Oh.
And as we go year by year, lots of
Yes.
things are coming out in the public domain.
Yes.
Works from 1926 will be open to all, including all kinds of songs that Leo could turn into a new theme song for us, but it will still get taken down somehow by YouTube, no doubt. Even though they're in public domain, he has the rights to it. Books include Winnie the Pooh, public domain.
Oh gosh. You mean it
The
wasn't?
Sun Also Rises, Dorothy Parker's Enough Rope, Langston Hughes's The Weary Blues, Agatha Christie's The Murder of Roger Ackroyd,
Oh, that was a great book. Yes. I love that.
Edna Ferber's Showboat,
Okay.
Willa Cather's My Mortal Enemy, H.L. Mencken's Notes on Democracy,
Okay.
and then sound recordings, which as of January 1st you could play with abandon. Enrico Caruso performances from Rigoletto and La Traviata and La Boheme.
Ooh.
But they
Pablo
won't sound very good.
Casals, Bourret. You could click on these things.
Oh.
Rachmaninoff's Liebeslied.
They're not in public domain yet, though.
They will. I think you can get away with it, Leo. I think you can.
Wouldn't that be funny if I got a takedown for something that's going to be public domain in like 2 weeks?
Yeah. Who's going to take down Sergei Rachmaninoff's Liebeslied with Fritz Kreisler?
Sergey might.
Sony's classical music division.
Yeah.
Fanny Bryce, My Man. Now that's a good one.
Oh, let's play that. Let me play that. Okay. My Man.
Al Jolson Swanee will be public domain Jan 1.
Oh, wow.
This is from the Ziegfeld Follies of 1921. Stick it, YouTube.
That's pretty cool.
This is from the Library of Historical Audio Recordings at i78s.org. That is really neat. So this is right now still under, believe it or not, still under copyright.
Yeah, amazing. That's how screwed up our copyright
Yeah,
is.
it just goes on and on.
Movies entering the public domain.
What?
The German expressionist classic Faust.
Faust?
Don Juan, the first feature film to use the Vitaphone sound system.
Oh.
Made famous, of course, in Singing in the Rain.
Oh, yes.
Funny.
You know, this is actually great that I can listen to old 78s from the Library of Congress.
I never thought I'd miss you so.
It really feels like
Why you need to read.
that's old-timey. That's great.
It is.
That's
this is
so
why you
great.
need to read Matthew Kirschenbaum's Bitstreams, The Future of Digital Literacy Heritage, because it's kind of about just that.
So this is all stuff that's going to be public domain on January 1st.
Musical compositions, some biggies here. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
Wow.
Bye Bye Blackbird. Someone to Watch Over Me, George Gershwin.
Oh, wow.
Are You Lonesome Tonight? When the Red Robin comes bobbin' along.
You mean I own royalties for all the time I've sung that?
I know. Oh,
The
and
Hawaiian
Cossack-
wedding song. Look at
Cossack
this.
love song.
Ke
Oh, the Hawaiian love
Kale
song.
Nei
Oh,
Au. The Cossack love song. Can't play that though, right? Because there's no recording.
that's the composition,
Yes.
a piece of music.
Yes.
Because there are, of course, two distinct copyrights, performance and creation.
Right.
So this is public domain time.
I love this. And this is all because Congress has neglected for the last few years to extend copyright, which they normally do in honor of Mickey Mouse every few years.
Yes.
In honor of,
Disney's-
at the behest of.
So that's great. And public domain is so important. And yeah.
Speaking of public domain, here's a good book if you guys have time over the holidays. It is Otto Penzler did an anthology, an espionage anthology book. It's the Great Big Book of Espionage. And it is such like incredibly old stories. And the intro to each story and then the intro to the book takes a really thorough look at the history of spy novels. And
Oh, this is Ian Fleming, Eric Ambler. These are classics.
So it's classic all the way up. He does he's very educated in the history of these books. So it's like a college level course on like the history of. It's excellent. I will tell you, if you get it on Audible, it is 48 hours.
That's a lot of spy novels, but I am going to put it on my Audible because I would love this.
It's really well done.
Audible.
Yeah.
You want a great Audible recommendation?
Sure.
Go for it.
The Layman Trilogy, which is on Broadway now, limited term, big deal. It's actually it's written in essentially unstructured free verse, history of the Lehman Bank from the beginning to the end.
Oh, wow.
Creatively written in ways I can't begin to describe, performed beautifully in this recording. and it's wonderful.
I just bought the library book that you recommended, so
I just wrote about that.
The Library
So
of Fragile History by Andrew Pettigrew. But if you think the layman,
I think the library is also very good. They're very, very, very different.
Well, now I have the 40-hour big book of espionage.
That's a bit. If you go to my Medium feed, I'm going to plug, rare plug here. If you go to my Medium feed, jeffjarvis.medium.com, I have 2 new posts. One is about the library and about bitstreams and the continua I saw in them about how everything is processed and everything is a conversation.
Nice.
So,
and that library, what library is this?
I don't know what it is. I just stole the photo, but it's magnificent, isn't it?
Yeah.
I saw that photo because somebody said he or she was being rushed out by a security guard, wondering why I would want to take a picture of that.
What are you doing there? Why would you want to take a picture of the library?
There it is. A guy escorted me out, baffled why someone would sneak into the building to take this picture. Yes.
I would like to know what the library is, though. The famous library at the Melk Abbey in Austria is the model for. Was it the library in the name of the rose? I think so. But anyway,
one of the great things
I love libraries.
Pettigrew and de Vedevens, the library of fragile history. At the beginning, of course, they start with the library in Alexandria because you have to, right? And the funny thing was when Nixon went to Alexandria in a triumphant tour of Egypt, he asked to see the library.
Yes, and what was the response?
Well, the thing was, they didn't even know where it was, where it had been.
It burned down a few years ago, Mr. Nixon.
But a fascinating little tidbit here from the book is that because they were papyrus scrolls, Pettigrew and de Vedevens said that they would have had to have been copied every century or two because they would have crumbled of their own accord.
Interesting.
And the larger the library got, the more impossible that became. So scale was sought after and also a curse all the way back then.
Yeah. Wow, that's fascinating. Okay. So the public domain, that's good. Did you want to do the Internet Hall of Fame inductees too? Because that's good.
We could, yeah. I never much liked awards and things like that, but I wondered how many of these names you know. I didn't know many of them.
Let's go through them.
Coming up.
Carlos Alfonso, Advanced Internet Development in Brazil. Bob Blokzil, from the Netherlands. See, these are all, so Hans Werner Braun designed the National Science Foundation Network, NSFNet, in the U.S. Frode Greisen from Denmark, who founded the E-Bone, which is not what you think it is, but the European Internet Backbone.
I think that's a song that just went into the public domain.
The E-Bone is connected to the toe bone. Jan Gruntorad from the Czech Republic, champion of networking for research and development in Czechoslovakia. Saul Hahn, Caribbean.
Any of these names familiar so far?
None of them, no.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Dan Kaminsky, who passed away this year.
That's the one. That's the one I knew.
Who, of course, created the DNS system. Actually, no, repaired the DNS system when he found the Kaminsky bug. He's the only one, I think, on this whole list. But that's actually why I think it's important to cover these. These are not publicity exercises.
Yes, that's true.
These are really about remembering the people who made such a difference and really didn't get much credit. So Internet Hall of Fame.org. Congratulations to the 2021 inductees.
Leo, you should be there.
Oui, no, I did nothing. I know nothing. Although this might be in there. This is very cool. The story of, well, I love the title. I blew $720 on 100 notebooks from Alibaba and started a paper website business. The idea is, the author thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could write a website, a blog post, a Medium post, in my Moleskine notebook, and then have
is that how you say it? I've always wondered. Is that how you say
there
it?
is no way to say it. I've asked them many times.
Moleskine,
it's all phony because they're pretending to be, a classic notebook from France, but. And when you go to the website, it says pronounce it wherever you want. I always say
they come from Staten Island. Is that the deal?
Exactly. I always pretend it's Italian, Moleskine, because Moleskine It's
That
disgusting.
sounds kind of like it was something that was taken off a dead animal roadkill. Yeah.
Anyway, so he bought whatever, those notebooks.
It sounds like a mole's. Anyway, no, I won't go.
Skin, a mole's skin,
A mole
which is
skin,
soft
exactly.
and perfect for covering a notebook.
Oh, perhaps, except that it's not. It's just paper cover. Ben, who is a full stack developer and entrepreneur, started an ice cream business and a cookie dough business, among others, thought it would be really cool if people could write their website in a notebook and then scan it in. When he first did the scans with his phone, the results were so terrible. You can show this on the screen, John. I mean, they just were gobbledygook. But then he had a brilliant idea. Run it through GPT-3, everybody's favorite artificial intelligence. And in fact, with a little work, he was able to get excellent results. So he built a little prototype, then went online and he bought a bunch of notebooks from Moleskine, went online, sold them.
That sounds dumb. Yeah, stop it.
And created paperwebsite.com. And you can now go to his website and sign up. The pricing is affordable. He'll send you, if you get the ultimate deal for $8 a month, he'll send you, actually $99 for a year, a notebook. These are the ones he bought from Alibaba. But the idea is you then take a picture of it and it gets uploaded and put on your blog. And in fact, the entire post that I'm reading from here was written in a notebook and uploaded to his blog. It's actually a really cute story, tinyprojects.dev. And it has a very happy ending because it actually worked. He went viral on Twitter. And he's now got on Product Hunt, and he's now making a living.
How do you think he'd do with this?
Yeah, I think if you got
Not well.
you got to stop crying while you're taking your notes.
That's my handwriting. It's impossible to read. I can't read.
You must have been doing it in the
cold.
rain then, because it does look like it got damp.
That was a spilled thing.
You know what you really need, and I now am getting one: the Elevated Craft Hybrid Cocktail Shaker. No more spilling martinis as
Did you
take
succeed?
notes. Oh yeah, I got one. Yeah, it might even come. It might even. I chose expedited shipping. It might even come for Christmas.
So, what cocktail would you make with it for New Year's?
Lisa loves margaritas, but I personally, my specialty, I usually would make a gin and tonic or a martini, but my specialty is lemon drops, and this would be excellent for making lemon drops. 170 milliliter lemon drops.
That's a lot of lemon
Stacey,
drops.
What
Yes, sir.
would you say is your? Because I'm going to guess it's gin, but I'm not sure. What is your specialty drink?
Oh, I know what her
Stacey.
specialty is.
What is it?
Go ahead, Stacey.
Well, a gin and tonic doesn't count, right? Because
No,
it's
that's what
just-
I'm saying.
That's a
No.
2-drink cocktail. I would say the Green Lady is my specialty
The
drink.
Green Lady.
Green Lady. What's that?
Yes. It is gin, chartreuse,
Oh.
mint, and a little bit of simple.
Oh yeah, I found it on the internet.
There you go. But I make
That's
lots
Stacey's
of
next hair
cocktails.
color.
There you go. Nah, you can find the recipe on the internet. It's Verd. Verd. What is lady in French?
Femme vert?
Maybe.
Femme verte? Femme verteuse.
What did you think it was?
Femme verteuse. La femme verte.
Green Lady cocktail. Let's see. Verdant Lady. The Verdant Lady.
Verdant.
That's what it's called.
She's fertile.
She's verdant.
Okay. Why did I thought we'd had a conversation some years back about booze that I thought it was gins.
It's gin. It's gin.
Yeah.
She
It's
knows
gin.
gins.
It's gin in that drink. I also
I got a little
I'm very
bottle of-
fond of.
I got a bottle of gin recently. I had to throw it out. It was just
Yeah,
dreadful.
some of the new stuff where they're trying
Oh,
things.
they tried too hard.
Yeah. What's your favorite gin, Stacey?
It really depends. You want my like foresty
Didn't
gin?
we buy? Weren't we going to buy you the Gin of the Month Club or something? I feel like
Kevin actually
wait a minute. It was
sent
the
me last
gin.
year a gin
It was the Gin
Advent calendar.
calendar.
The Advent
That's
calendar.
it.
Yeah. Right.
Kevin did send me one, and it was
that's
fantastic.
awesome. That's awesome. That's actually it's too late now unless you want to drink all 25
too late
at
for
once.
that.
But that's a great idea. The Premium Gin Advent Calendar. See, he knows you well.
Well, I don't know. One year he sent me like some computer stuff.
Oh.
It's still sitting down there in the storage room.
Ladies.
Kevin, she said that with love.
Yeah, we thought she was
did.
talking about Absinthe, the Green Fairy, which is another thing entirely.
Oh, I've been making an martini that involves absinthe and grenadine, and that is also delightful. We did that for y'all, Twit Book Club announcement.
Okay.
Before we go, that was so exciting. 2 things. Martha Wells, author of the Murderbot books, won the Hugo this year. Go her.
All right.
2,
for the Murderbot books?
For the most recent one. It's
That's
called Network Effect.
fantastic.
So yeah, quality literature happening with us. And then our next book is Autonomous by Annalee Newitz. And we're talking about that on the 13th at, I'm not going to lie to you about times. So I'm going to look it up.
I think it's 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern.
I think it's 1 p.m.
1 p.m.? Oh. See, without Ant here, we don't know. He's busy binge watching or whatever he calls it that's not binge watching Succession.
Watching as much as he can bear until he can't stand these people so much that he has to turn it off. Succession.
It's 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. That would be 2100 UTC.
So Leo, a little Christmas gift to me here. One TikTok for me.
All right, you get one.
So last week,
TikTok
on Twit. This is line 141. On Twit, I tried to convince Leo that Bunny, the talking dog, uses the buttons to talk, and he was his usual cynical, growly self. Now Bunny is learning to count. Line 141.
Okay. It's not that hard to train a dog to hit a sequence of buttons in order.
Well, no, let's just see here.
Okay.
Okay, how about good girl. How about yay?
Bunny knows how to count.
Okay, how about
Are you just teasing me now? And why
Yes, I am.
why does Bunny have blood down her front?
I don't know.
Looks like Bunny's been eating something she shouldn't have.
okay, how about
Yeah.
Why is this good? Why?
You should have seen Stacy. Bunny has one of those things where the dog hits the button and it
No,
talks.
I know about it because the guy who's working with Bunny right now, he was the guy who'd invented something called Clever Pet, which was a connected pet toy that I actually had for my dog for a while. And so now he's on this thing, and it's just a trip and a half to see where he's going.
Soon today, Ringo by? Nope. Ringo's family.
It drove Leo crazy.
This is like that talking
He hates
gorilla
it.
thing.
He hates it.
Where it's just not.
I met that gorilla.
Coco does
was
not
wonderful.
talk.
Coco did. Coco rest
I will
in peace.
say,
Coco's gone now.
I think some of the dogs do actually learn the words and associate them with something because.
Oh yeah,
and the
you could
reason I
say
believe this is 'cause
walkies and they know you're going for a walk, but
there's the
Well-
dogs that go and hit the treat button. They're just like treat, mad, treat. I'm like, yeah, they get it.
all right, and we will wind up our holiday special. This is the last show of the year with this video of a Tesla being blown up with dynamite
Why?
Why?
because Burke says so. I don't know why. I guess she doesn't like her Tesla and she's decided she wants to blow it up.
But you could do
Take
so many
that,
other things.
Elon.
What, Burke? Why is he blowing up his Tesla?
Because he just bought it and might be used. It's going to cost him. He has to buy an entire new battery pack to get it to work again.
Okay. So in order to get it to work, you'd have to buy new batteries, which is probably as much as the car cost, and new tires. So he decided instead, what could possibly go wrong if I blow it up with dynamite? Oh, wow. It went up, too.
That's a lot of dynamite.
Holy cow. Oh, here it is in slow motion.
When it gets slower, it's better.
Okay.
It's a good payoff.
It's. I have to say, winter in Sweden is brutal.
They are so bored.
So bored.
They go Tesla
And there's an even better one. Here
exploding.
Burke,
Tesla exploding.
How did you find this, Burke? Did you search for exploding Teslas?
No.
No.
It was in the right to repair.
Oh, it was in the right to repair. Oh, right, because he should be able to fix this, but it costs so much money to get Tesla to fix it. At least he did some nice.
This is the amazing one.
Look at this. This is the fuse is being lit, I guess.
It's the debt cord. And then you can see the pressure wave and everything. It's great.
Yeah, quite a pressure wave. All right, well, there's a great way to end the show. That's kind of what this show was like. Exploding Tesla.
He just kept on trying to blow up the rundown.
Thank you so much, Stacy. I hope you have a great holiday. You're going to do some fun things. You don't have to come back here tomorrow, next week, because we're going to do the best of. So we'll see you in the new year. So have a happy new year as well. Thank you for
Happy New Year.
excellent choices for my holiday giving.
I'm so glad you asked that. I was like, oh man, I got nothing.
He had nothing. She had nothing.
But
Look
you
what
didn't.
happened.
You did. You had something.
Yeah.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Have a great.
Happy holidays. I hope y'all have a wonderful, warm, safe, and
too.
COVID-free holiday.
Yes, we're staying inside. With
Open for that.
people we already know. People we've already infected. Jeff Jarvis is the Leonard Tao Professor for Journalistic Innovation, and I neglected to do this at the Graduate School of Journalism at the City University of New York, and a very, very hearty thank you to Eric Jones, Artistic Director of the Master Singers of Virginia, who sent us that. He says, I'm a professional choral conductor and a listener to Twig from the beginning. I noticed on last week's podcast that the singing entry for Craig Newmark had gotten a little long, and that Leo spoke over it. In my impatience, I confess, I decided to have my choir sing something short and more along the lines of how Leo, Jeff, and Ant used to try to sing it.
It's
together.
brilliant. I can imagine how he had to explain this to his choir.
We're singing what? Anyway, thank you to Eric Jones and the
Eric.
Master Singers,
And the singers
of Virginia, msva.org. That is going to be a permanent part of our repertoire. That's really nice.
Can you do a theme for us?
Let's not push it. Anyway, Jeff, it's great to always great to work with you.
Friend.
You're the best. I love both of you. I miss Ant, but we know he's happily ensconced with a nice whiskey and the Succession family.
He's making meat right now.
He's making meat. There you go.
Yes, he is
meat.
on Twitter.
Thank you.
Love to everybody in the team.
Yes. We have a great team. They work hard and they play hard, and they're going to go out and have some fun. We have more shows tomorrow, Tech News Weekly, Smart Tech Today, and then we're going to close up shop. The studio will go dark until after New Year's Day. My first show back is January 2nd with the Tech Guy. Thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas, Jeff. Merry Christmas, Stacy. Happy New Year to you both. We do Twig every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2200 UTC. You can watch us do it live at live.twit.tv or chat with us live at irc.twit.tv. Join the Club Twit, of course, for the ad-free versions, the Discord where you can chat, and the Twit Plus Feed Plus Stacy's Book Club, the Untitled Linux Show, the GizFizz, so many more shows that we don't put on the regular podcast feeds. $7 a month. It's a nice way to support the network. We really appreciate it. And you get some nice benefits too. Go to twit.tv/clubtwit to find out more. If you don't want to listen to the show live or chat live with us, of course, you can chat after the fact at our Twit forums, www.twit.community, or on our Mastodon instance, twit.social. Get the shows on demand after the fact from the website, twit.tv/twig. There's a YouTube channel, or subscribe on your favorite podcast client. We're everywhere, and if you download it that way, you'll get it automatically the minute it's available. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's been a fun year, and we look forward to another great year next year on This Week in Google. Happy New Year, everybody. Bye-bye.
Android is constantly evolving, and if you're part of the Android faithful, then you'll be just as excited about it as I am. I'm Jason Howell, host of All About Android, along with my co-hosts Florence Ion and Ron Richards, where every week we cover the news, we cover the hardware, and we cover the apps that are driving the Android ecosystem. Plus, we invite people who are writing about Android, talking about Android, and making Android onto the show. Every Tuesday at twit.tv, look for All About Android.